Hello again, everybody. Welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Halas Hangover, and I know it was a preseason game, but I'm smiling ear to ear. I think everybody else is too. We got what we wanted to see, and now we're going to talk about it. Caleb was sharp. Tyson was sharp. The Bears were sharp. Let's talk about it right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars align. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot down heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Before we get going, how's everybody doing today? Everyone surviving these crazy storms?
We got a new intro video.
We did get a new intro video.
Look at that. Nice job, Brandon. Looks good.
We're going to play it again later.
We'll play it
More
3
people are
times.
here.
I'm good, man. My power's gone out a couple times, so like if I fall off, that's what it is.
Same
That's what
here.
it is. But I'm good. We're all feeling good after that game yesterday, right? I would think.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I honestly, I don't think I've ever had a shit-eating grin on my face after
A preseason
game. But I have to say the precision and the execution of the offense,
The professionalism.
the poise, the timing, the command, the footwork, the quick processing. I mean, if you guys remember, it was a little like 12-yard.
What's up, Mikey?
Out or it was like a 6-yard out to DJ Moore to the sideline to the left side. I believe it was on the first drive or second drive, and the blitz was coming up the middle before Caleb even let that ball go. He had that ball heading towards DJ. DJ turned around in that rot, and it was on time. That made me smile to see things like that happening, and not only see things like that happening, but the amount of time that Caleb Williams was under center is something we have to talk about, because the majority of these big plays came under center. And I also have to get your guys feeling 3rd and 15, and the Bears come up with a first down on an 18-yard gain. A lot of these things we haven't seen in a long time. This was exciting. This was, I'm shaking. I'm shaking.
There's so many things to talk about from just a preseason game, for sure. And you don't want to get too overexcited about it or overreact too much one way or the other. Super Bowl Bears 26. Have you guys seen that name before? What's up, dude?
Yeah, that's Erica.
All right, Erica, what's up? Tyson Bajent, 3 touchdown drives. Anthropology joining in with the Caleb hate still.
Hey, there you go, Anthropology. How about that?
Yeah.
5 for 6.
Caleb looked pretty good. But, well, let's talk. I mean, so like the thing, like you pointed out, Sean, that stood out the most to me on that first drive was the fact that that's holding call got called on Dahlman. And that's something that would have stalled a drive for that Bears offense last year, killed the momentum and killed the offense for that drive. And Caleb stood in the pocket. Ben Johnson designed a very, very good play that got Colston level and open, and Caleb delivered a fucking dime to him. And then we're moving the chains again, just like that. So I mean, stuff like that does stand out. It stands out to me. It feels different. It seems professional, like we have an actual play caller, an actual offensive line, and there are indicators in this game, Kyle, that I saw that stood out to me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot would have happened yesterday. It needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Obviously, the Bills were playing their number 2, number 3s. The Bears were playing their starting offense and starting defense. But I mean, if you play it seems 2s in the preseason and you're playing your starters, all you can ask for is to dominate the competition. If you look at the team stats, guys, I mean, it's just so heavily in favor of the Chicago Bears. First downs 31-12 Bears, rushing first downs 10-5 Bears, passing 19-5 Bears. They each had, I think, the Bears had 5 penalties. I think they had 10. The average or the rushing yards 171-77, passing yards 357-103.
It was a beatdown.
Net yards 528-180. I mean, they time of possession was just insane. I think it was 39-20. I mean, the Bears just absolutely dominated this team in every way, shape, or form. And I understand that it's preseason, but you know what? In particular, when it comes to Caleb Williams, people will look at this game and say, "Oh, it's only preseason." But I guarantee you, if Caleb Williams had gone out there and played poorly, they would not be using the preseason excuse.
And have a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, they'd be destroying them all the same. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to look too much on the statistics because, like I said, they were playing inferior competition. But all you ask for is the poise, the cadences, the timing, how Caleb commands the huddle. I mean, you guys, Caleb had this team at the line in formation with 13 seconds left on the play clock on every single play. The ball was
no
snapped.
pre-snap penalties.
No,
pre-snap.
The ball was snapped with 5 seconds left on the play clock. The Bears got themselves in so much trouble last year because they got down in the 2-1 right with the play clock, and the defense knew when they were going to snap the ball. So they had a good jump. They knew when they were going to snap the ball. Everything looked perfect in terms of operation yesterday. And that's all you can ask for a preseason game. I mean, there's really, like I said, I'm not going to dig too much into the stats, but even if you just look at the PFF numbers, all the guys we've been talking about all off season, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore,
Austin Booker.
Yeah, this is going to be a offense to be reckoned with come mid-season when everybody gets comfortable.
Well, you said you didn't want to dive into stats, but before you guys move on to who's next here, the stat that stood out to me the most about this offense was the average yards per attempt for these quarterbacks.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I wrote about it in my recap. 17.8 yards per attempt for Caleb Williams, 15.1 for Tyson Bagent. Even Austin Reed had an 11, which is not that great, but I mean, this is an offense that's gonna get chunk plays. Ben Johnson is designing these guys open, and not just open when they catch it, but open field for when they catch it and to make yards after the catch and blockers set up for them. You're going to see a high average completion and average per attempt for Caleb Williams this season because of how Ben Johnson designs this offense. Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, I really wanted. Yeah, thanks. I think we're getting a taste, guys, of Ben Johnson, and I think anybody who thought because they saw an episode of Quarterback where Dan Campbell was telling people we're going to go for it on 4th down, this is the mentality that Ben Johnson has. He's a very aggressive offensive coordinator. Was not just in the hands of Dan Campbell. He's decided to receive the ball both times after winning the kickoff. I think that's different. It's not something the Bears fans have watched. And I think he does that because he expects to have a lead by halftime, and he's more comfortable with deferring the ball in the second half because he expects to be up. But yeah, it does not. It's the thing that stood out to me the most was each quarterback was around 10 yards per completion. Now, that number came up from Caleb Williams last season from 6. Bagent went from 6 to about just under 8. So, I mean, this is an offense that's going to get big chunk yardage, man. And when you're watching this preseason game, I think what's most important is how Ben Johnson's coaching the games because, like we said, guys, they're interchangeable players. We're watching second stringers, third stringers, fourth stringers. There was consistency through the quarterback play, no matter who was in the game. And each quarterback finished with a QB rating of over 100. Each quarterback was throwing about 10 yards per completion. I think that's huge, man, because no matter preseason or not, backups or not, this is the way that Ben Johnson's going to scheme this thing, right? We want big chunk plays. Like he said, he doesn't like the tush push because tush push doesn't lead to big plays. We're seeing that already on the field. And then another thing, man, the rookies showed out. This rookie class has worried me. You saw Zay Frazier on the field yesterday. That was a good thing. But all the rookies played the role that I think they're going to play respectively and when the season begins, and they all looked better than they did a week ago. It's another thing, guys, I told you what I thought was most important is the team last week just didn't look comfortable. It didn't look like second nature to these guys, and it did yesterday to me. And I don't want to read too much into a preseason game, but my God, guys, Luke Newman is a stud. He is a
you
stud.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Sean, respond to Anthro on this real quick. You got a response for this, right, Sean?
No, because it does look as though the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Andy Reid came out today and said he will be playing his starters on Friday. And it looks like Ben Johnson will be countering with his starters as well. So Friday night under the lights, I don't think they're going to be hiding him anthropology. And I hate to say this, anthropology, but I don't know what game you watched. Caleb Williams
wasn't needing to be hidden. He was fucking awesome. He needed to be hidden.
He was
Anthro, what's going on in your head, man? You can't deny what you see in front of you. Come on now.
Come on. And if listen, man, if Bagent was given the starting role and he played poorly, Anthropology would claim that Austin Reed was his guy. This is just the way this shit works, man, and it's all the same.
All three quarterbacks.
And listen, I do want to say this, guys. Tyson Bagent looked really good yesterday, Anthro. I'll give you that. But to me, he looked his best outside structure, and I don't think that's what Ben Johnson's looking for. Because to me, Caleb looked his best in the pocket. That's where he was most comfortable.
Hey, and really quick, guys. Zach, I see Zach Lipsky is in the chat.
What's going on, Zach?
His happy birthday. His birthday just passed in the last couple of days. So happy belated birthday to our Bear fan and community member.
Happy birthday, Zach. He was texting me during the game.
Yeah, for me, there was a lot made about throwing a lot at him, Caleb, early, but the biggest takeaway for me was the Bears have a 21st century offense. And it wasn't just about Williams. It was more about the system. We've been sitting here watching the Bears struggle with outdated schemes and conservative play calling. And it just feels like after watching yesterday, and yes, of course, it is the preseason. But again, after watching yesterday, it just seems like the shift to a dynamic, modern, QB-friendly offense has finally arrived in Chicago, and I can't wait to see how this continues to unravel over the 4-month season that we're about to embark on. I mean, again, as a Bears fan, we've watched conservative play calling, losers at quarterback, and people who can't get it done. And I'm sorry, Anthro, if you can't see what we saw, those were laser beams yesterday.
He was on a rope. It was on a rope all night.
Everything was
all night.
On time, on structure. I mean, he was
anticipation
breaks. I mean, I was shocked and I was thrilled.
You brought up the out route to DJ Moore. That was a perfectly timed, perfectly thrown pass.
Yeah.
The seam pass to Cole Kmet for 29 yards, right down the middle, just as he broke past the linebacker that was dropping back in coverage, right in the spot it needed to go. I mean, the pass to Colston Loveland on 3rd and 15 was perfect. These are very well designed plays. Even the pass to Zacchaeus, he put it right where Zacchaeus could catch it and then keep running. And the play was designed for that. But like Caleb was poised, was calm, collected in the pocket, and worked within the offense. This is the biggest concern I've had for Caleb that we've been talking about, guys, right? Can he work within the structure? This is Ben Johnson's biggest concern for Caleb. Can he work within the structure and work within the offense and not go off script? And can he just take what the defense gives him and recognize it and throw it with anticipation, not have to see it to throw it? Caleb showed all those things last night, guys. It's not so much about the stats. It's about how he looked, his comfortability within this offense. And guys, if this is the vanilla version of Ben Johnson's offense, look the fuck out. Like, this is the preseason version of Ben Johnson's offense. Like I said, this is going to transfer well to the NFL season. I don't see how it doesn't. And Caleb is going to thrive in this offense, guys, under center.
Yeah, and I thought Caleb looked rather comfortable in that thing that he'd never had last year, the pocket. And that's where it all starts, guys. And even without Joe Tooney, it was a very cohesive offensive line. I mean, Luke Newman filled in admirably more than, but that offensive line looked good from top to bottom, left to right. It did. And that was the most improved unit, I thought, on this Bears team over the offseason. I thought the depth there was better as well. Luke Newman plugs in as a starter, and they didn't miss a beat. I don't know that Caleb Williams ever actually got touched in that game.
Yeah, and that touchdown pass to Zacchaeus was a nice switch release where the two players swapped at the line and cut across. That was really awesome. I mean, we're going to be seeing stuff like this all the time in this offense. And so I don't know. My mind is fucking blown.
Zacchaeus sold that too. Zacchaeus sold that as an out. He was going out toward the sideline and broke it right back in. It was just perfectly executed, Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, this offense, the execution, whether or not it's at the preseason level, you're playing against a team that was an AFC championship last year. McDermott wants his guys to give some fucking effort, and the Bears beat the effort out of them, Kyle, with their execution.
Yeah, we talked all offseason about the Bears limiting excuses for Caleb Williams. I believe that bringing Ben Johnson here, obviously revamping the entire offensive line, has a lot to do with the production we saw on Sunday and with the production you're going to see going into the regular season. But I mean, at this point now, guys, it's all up to Caleb Williams. I mean, it's obvious that Ben Johnson crosses every single box you're looking for in a head coach. He was by far the best coaching candidate this offseason. It looks like he's going to be a very good coach in the NFL. Obviously, I don't want to. I find it hard to believe that Mike Vrabel or Mike McCarthy or any of those other guys in the office who were available this offseason could do what Ben Johnson can do for this offense. And I think at the end of the day, if you draft a quarterback number one, the entire team, the entire offseason, all you should be doing is worrying about making him as comfortable as you possibly can and making sure he's a franchise quarterback for the next decade to come, and make sure you're giving yourself a chance for the Super Bowl every year. It's just a preseason game, guys. It's just the start, but it looks to me like the marriage between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams is going to be something fun to watch for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what he designed for Caleb to work with in that game was perfect. And I told you guys after that first drive, I was like, pull the starters out. This is it. That's done. And that's the way I would have approached it. I was like, okay, Caleb was 5 for 6. We got a 92-yard touchdown drive. Let's just call it a day and move on. They came back out. The second drive was a bit of a letdown, but I mean, it is what it is. They came out ready to play, and the Bills didn't. Again, preseason game, the results don't matter, but you look for indicators. You look for guys working hard, and you saw Luther Burden cracking down on a fucking crackdown block and just pile driving a guy into the ground on a touchdown run. You see guys that are like just all in with what this coaching staff wants for them. They're coaching them hard, they're practicing hard, and their intensity level is matching or beating every team they're coming across in joint practices and in these preseason games so far, guys. That's an indicator to me that this team at least is going to work their ass off every game.
Yeah, I know we were all listening to the game, and I know that I've said in the past on the show, or one of the shows, that I think Luther Burden could be the number one receiver on this football team, and Greg Olsen kind of reiterated that last night during the
Spilled
broadcast.
the beans, the Ryan Poles beans there, yeah.
You know what? I am very happy because the questions around Luther Burden is, what is he going to do when the ball's not coming his way? And you know what? The coaching is sinking in. We saw what's going to happen. He's understanding the no block, no rock. He got a block. He got the rock. And I'm thoroughly impressed with him. And as he said in his post-game presser yesterday, I mean, if I get too much space, there's going to be a problem.
He is such a fucking gangster, guys. He is a gangster. Like, with his shades on in the locker room, if I get too much space, it's going to be a problem.
And you want to know what, guys? I'm gonna be honest. At Bears camp last Thursday, I had a chance to meet him when I was hanging out with Windy City's very own Shane's Hobbs. He was a really nice guy. He came over, very approachable, like completely nice. He signed about 50 autographs. He kept talking to us while he was signing autographs for the kids. Really, really nice guy. So I'm glad for him. I just wish he didn't go to Missouri.
Burden is a fucking stud, guys. And he's always open. Always open. Like, his route running for a rookie in their second preseason game, it's spectacular. And then what he can do after the catch, he showed a little bit of that last night too, with like that subtle little juke move that he just blew by his defender and turned what would have been a short gain into a big play for a first down. Luther Burden is going, and guys, right now he's the fourth receiver on this depth chart. I mean, if you really think of, and how crazy is that?
We haven't even watched them play with their starting quarterback.
I know.
And Tyson Bagent, think about what a luxury that is for him. The second string quarterback, the guy you're throwing to with the second team is Luther fucking Burden. Like, how much better does that make Tyson Bagent? And I told you guys, I'm becoming more comfortable with Tyson Bagent. I think he has performed well in this preseason. He's looked good. He's not our starter, and nobody should want him to be. But I'm feeling more and more comfortable with the fact that he is the guy that's going to step in if Caleb goes down, God forbid. Well, because he's working well within the offense.
Especially if Case Keenum don't get healthy.
Well, Case Keenum is not the second. Case Keenum ain't going to be in that role. It's going to be Tyson Bagent.
Is Case Keenum hurt? Is that why he didn't play this week?
Yeah, he didn't suit up.
I thought I saw that.
But Bagent is the second guy, regardless of
Austin Reed. Austin Reed was not really supposed to play any snaps.
I like Austin Reed, man. I really do.
I do too. I
Googled it because I was watching and I was like, man, the ball moves really fast when he throws. He has one of the highest velocities in college football when he was drafted. And I didn't even know. I just Googled it based on a whim watching the kid play. He throws a bullet, man. I mean, he throws the ball like a baseball. So, yeah, I'm excited to see. He's obviously going to be on the practice squad. I'm excited to see him develop in Chicago.
Bagent came to the podium last night looking like Jason Williams. You guys see that when the press conference happened?
Hold on. What was that?
Tyson Bagent came out looking like Jason Williams with like white chocolate. He's kind of becoming a gangster too, this kid. This Bears team has swagger, guys, and they have confidence. And when you hear them talking after the game or in their interviews, they're just saying exactly what this coaching staff is saying. It's all trickling down, guys.
Yeah.
That's what you look for in these off seasons. Like, is the culture taking form, and are the guys buying in? And this team is fucking bought into what Ben Johnson and this coaching staff have brought. That's what's most important to me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it wasn't all roses for the Bears, as we saw. Monangai didn't suit up. Hankins left with an injury. We lost Dr. Robinson. We lost Austin Booker.
We lost Terrell
The
Smith.
Terrell
for
Smith
probably
one.
the
For the
season.
Yeah,
season.
that was rough, man.
Yeah.
Have they reported? I haven't seen anything reported
No,
yet.
I just
but,
checked.
It's
No
rough.
on either player.
It's
No-
not good. It's not good.
No news on
But
Austin
here,
Booker. No news on Terrell.
We don't
Smith.
need to worry about Terrell Smith. He's done. That was non-contact. Towel over his head. There's your indicator.
Yeah. I texted. I saw it when it happened live, and I was like, "This is fucking
Yeah,
bad." And
this
then you
position
saw the
is
replay, and it was
growing
just worse.
thinner every day, guys.
I mean, the defensive ends were already thin. But Kyle, let me ask you this: where are you going at defensive end, especially if there's something long-term with Dominic Robinson and/or Austin Booker, down out with a knee injury? I didn't quite see. I don't know if either of you guys know. I didn't quite see what Dom Robinson's injury was. I didn't see anything reported either. They just said he was injured.
I mean, in all honesty, I hate to be disrespectful, but I really don't care. I don't think Dom Robinson should make this team. He's had 3 years to prove that he could be a viable player in the NFL, and he just simply hasn't done it. And once again, I mean, I know you guys hate PFF, but if you look at their worst defensive grades, Dom Robinson is one of the worst players on the field by far.
Yeah, I don't know why people are still holding on to this Dominic Robinson thing, guys. I don't know why, Kyle.
But I certainly wouldn't add a defensive end at this point. I mean, if the Bears go into the regular season and Austin Booker's dealing with something, I'm sure you'll see some small signing of some sort. They're not going to go after some big name guy. But right now, Sean, I mean, if you watch the first 2 preseason
Judon
games,
is signing with the Dolphins. I heard Judon was signing with the Dolphins.
It's just a preseason game, guys. But this is 2 preseason games now, which the Bears are constantly in the opposing team's backfield. I mean, that's all you can ask for, right? Austin Booker's had a good showing. Javon Dexter had a tackle for loss on the first drive of the game last night. The only guy who looks like he's struggling to find his way in this defense is Deo. And man, like I said, I know you guys aren't a huge big fan of PFF grades, but man, Deo, they destroyed Deo on this PFF.
Yeah, Dale was the worst grade. Dale was the worst graded player for the Bears.
Besides Mark Perry, who I don't even know.
He's not a splash player, though, guys. Like
number one worst.
When you get limited snaps in preseason and you don't make splash plays,
yeah,
it's going to be hard to get a good grade. Like Dio is going to be a regular season guy where he's just consistently setting the edge against the run and making the plays that don't really count on the stat sheet, but they are helping this defense. That's the way I'm thinking about Dio. I don't know if he's going to be your big sack guy. Austin Booker has been the darling of this preseason, and he is looking fucking good. If he's injured for any time, that is fucked because this Bears pass rush desperately needs him. I expect him to be the pass rush specialist for this defense, and I expect him to get double-digit sacks. So, like, Austin Booker needs to be out there. I'm hoping that's nothing. It didn't seem like that big of a thing. But, I mean, I think Dio's going to be fine. I don't think he's a guy that's like a PFF darling ever, and especially not in preseason and limited snaps,
Yeah, we haven't seen enough of Dio. I do want to overreact here a little bit, guys. Austin Booker has clearly worked his ass off, and we are seeing the fruits of this coach's labor, man. I mean, they are developing these guys into better football players. That's why I said the depth looks – if you guys heard Greg Olson said last night, the offensive line, even when the backups have been in, are just much more physical than the Bills. And I think that is a product of Dan Roschon, of these coaches, the things we've continued to preach, guys, the competition. They're giving all these offensive linemen starting positions in these preseason games and these practices. We saw any snaps that Trapillo played were all on the right side yesterday. He didn't play any snaps at left tackle. So, I mean, this is obviously proving results. I mean, everybody looks better. Even the guys who aren't listed as starters look like they're quality players. Tyson Bagent had a pocket to throw in last night too, guys. The depth on this team looks greatly improved, and they're majority the same players. So I think this coaching staff is doing exactly what I've been preaching for the last couple of months, guys. Player development is already starting to show results in the second week of the preseason. That's going to mean huge dividends for the Bears when the season starts, especially when you're losing guys like Terrell Smith. It's the next man up mentality, and good NFL organizations are able to do that at a high level. I think this Bears team's going to start doing that this year.
I think we glossed over the Terrell Smith a little bit too much, Sean. Like, this is concerning for a secondary that's supposed to be a strength of this defense, of this team overall. When you already have Jalen Johnson, who you're questioning about week 1, Kyler Gordon, and now Terrell Smith, who looks like he's done for the year. Hopefully fucking not. Sean, this is a fucking big deal.
Well,
Yeah, and Zach Frazier, by the way, guys, Zach Frazier did not play yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, listen,
I thought I saw him on special teams, but
no,
maybe
Zach
not.
Frazier played. He played.
No, that's a different number 20, man. I googled it. He did not play in yesterday's
20
game
is
due to
also
personal issue.
Jahade Walker.
Can we stop the whole Kyler Gordon backflipping out of the tunnel? Can that not be a fucking thing anymore?
That's his thing, dude. That's his
Yeah,
spider.
I would not let that be a thing moving forward.
All I'm saying is this.
Now, really quick,
the health in the secondary is concerning.
Really quick,
guys.
Dustin, to your point, if people didn't see it, Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson were both on the field doing warm up.
Gordon was suited up,
was moving around.
Yep, running.
So,
Kyler Gordon was in pads.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think those injuries are too serious. But if something does happen, which is the NFL, and players do miss 1 to 2 weeks per year, who's backing these guys up? Especially with some of these wide receiver cores that are on the Bears schedule, it's going to be a critical position. Yeah, and I think
the Frazier thing is weird.
They were.
I don't know what
people that think he played.
There's multiple
people
shared numbers on the Bears. Multiple. shared.
I'm with J2K. I thought he was playing too because he was number 20, but Jahade Walker's also
Walker.
You're
talking about when he almost blocked that punt. They called him.
Jahade
Walker,
Walker,
not Frazier. It was Walker.
Yeah, this is so weird though that this guy hasn't
Ryan,
been anywhere, and now people think he just randomly appeared in the game.
How about Ryan Poles? How about Ryan Poles
mentioning
Jahade Walker's name as he caught a ball? Clearly,
that was pretty cool.
This Bears team,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's about to make a play right here, right now, and
I agree.
He caught like a 15-yard pass. I think this Bears team really likes Jahade Walker.
Did you see him juggling before the game?
No.
Grabbed all those tennis balls, and Jalen Johnson was out there juggling. Jalen Johnson looks to be okay, and
I think they're both going to be fine. I'm just saying when you start losing more depth pieces, and Nahshon Wright has looked good, and the Bears seem to be establishing some depth while Jalen Johnson and Gordon are out. But
with every position,
it's concerning to me when you start losing depth on top of your starters already dealing
100%.
with injuries. You know, and
Terrell
whether or not
Smith
they're good to go
loss.
for week 1, are they 100%? I hope so, but we don't know.
Terrell Smith is a huge loss, man, no matter how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
It's a big-time loss for the Chicago Bears. He's a guy who can rotate in if something happens during the game, you get a little stinger and you have to come out for a couple of plays. He's a quality fill-in, so it's going to fall a little bit more on Josh Blackwell. It's going to fall on some of these other guys.
It's got to be next man up mentality. I think McLeod's play well in this preseason and training camp.
Nahshon
Wright's been talked about a lot in this. He's one of Dennis Allen's darlings. He's talked about him nonstop. I mean, it's got to be the next man up mentality.
I thought Blackwell had a decent preseason game last week.
Yeah, you want to know the truth. We're moving on because Smitty, his season might be over. No, his season is over. It's done. He made
a couple really good plays in that game before he got hurt too, which is also unfortunate. Like he came up in the run on one play where he just filled a hole and shut that down.
Isn't Major Burns out too? Isn't he gone now?
I didn't see him last night. I haven't heard that, but I mean, if he's hurt at all and he's already a fringe player, he ain't going to be on this roster either way.
And you could say with Terrell Smith getting hurt, Nahshon Wright is a roster lock. You lock that roster spot. Now,
I think Nahshon Wright might have been better for this defense already with Terrell Smith healthy. I thought Terrell Smith might end up being the odd man out in terms of that rotation. But like you said, he's still a very quality guy to have to step in if you need him with things going wrong. But Nahshon Wright, I thought was going to beat him out for that spot anyways, to be honest.
You're probably right, Dante. He was probably making the team anyways. But I think that injury yesterday just locks it in. Like he's got a roster spot. They did sign 3 defensive backs coming into this week. So yeah, I think he was cut because he got hurt, and he's done. And that was a guy I think Brandon talked about, and I kind of liked as well. Thought coming from LSU, this could be a guy top flight program, might be able to make a little noise. Unfortunate, when you're a fringe player, you get an injury, You're gone.
Well, I think
So-
that means that we're absolutely going to have another season of Hicks and and Jonathan Owen, without a doubt.
I don't mind Jonathan Owens. I know you guys aren't the biggest fans, but Jo is fine with me. I mean, he's played quality. He's played some quality downs for the Packers. His numbers weren't the worst. I know, again, we don't like PFF, or people don't, but if you go on PFF, which he's graded on nationally, his numbers, they weren't all pro, but they weren't, oh my God, this guy sucks either. So hopefully with this new staff being with Al Harris, hopefully he can elevate his game as well. I'm a fan of Jo. So
Well, I wouldn't count Caleb Hayes out either, guys. I mean, they talked about him a lot when they added him as an undrafted free agent out of Oregon. They talked about him constantly, and he had one of the best PFF grades on the Bears defense yesterday as well. He looked good when he was on the field. I mean, I'm not saying he's a guy you want playing meaningful snaps when it comes to the regular season, but if you do have an injury, he definitely looked like he's played football before. He doesn't look like he doesn't belong, but
Who's
yeah,
that?
definitely something to keep an eye on for sure. What's that?
Who's that?
Caleb Hayes, the guy from Oregon.
Is there a guy named Cook?
Safety, right?
Yeah,
There is
there's
a
a guy named
Cook.
Cook in the
It's,
secondary.
Alex,
Guys, have we seen Gringo Suave in here?
I have
before?
not seen Gringo.
I'm
Suave.
not.
Hey, Gringo.
No, you're going to hit it.
What happened to Sean Wade? Did they cut Sean Wade before he ever played?
Hey,
He's
thanks
out-
for being
he's
here,
out- he's out
Gringo.
for the
We
year.
appreciate you. Hit the like button. Make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe, man.
Thanks a lot, Suave. I appreciate you, man.
Hey,
Very
real
much.
quick, let's give love to the chat real quick because we haven't done that yet. We want to say thank you for everybody for being here. We got a bunch of people filling in the building right now. If y'all got anything you want to talk about, throw it in there. Ask us some questions. Gringo Suave, Phil, Relentless Mikey, DJ Profit, Dante Purify, one of our biggest fans, Squeegee, Vizzo, Joe, J2K. We had Anthro in here talking shit about Caleb, but he had to leave because it got too hot in here for him. But we still appreciate him and we want him to come back. All of y'all, love you. Thank you for being here. Hit that like
Thank
button.
you guys.
Share it with a friend.
Hey, Brandon, he was not cut. Sean Wade, he is on the Chicago Bears IR. So he was not cut from the team.
Illinois Jones in the building.
Illinois Jones.
What's up, Illinois Jones? Yeah, and guys, we touched on it briefly, but I do want to say that I know the Bears are in search and they want to get this answer, and it's taking a little bit longer than they had originally anticipated. But I think it's Braxton Jones,
not
and I
good.
think it's
It's not
Darnell
good.
Wright. I think those are going to be your left and right tackles when we suit up on September 8th against the Minnesota Vikings. I do like what I saw out of Theo Benedette, and it seems as though
Bruce.
whatever happened on the left side of the line, Ozzie Trapilo is officially on the right side of the line, his natural position where he was comfortable. And when he was,
he's a swing
one of my
tackle.
concerns.
He's
I
a
said,
We
don't
have
take
to
a guy
talk.
who's been, a guy who's played right tackle his entire career and try to switch him over to left. There's different techniques, hand speed, all these other things, foot speed that you have to have to be a left tackle. Obviously, the Bears are not seeing that in Trapilo, and it looks like he's now going to be pinned on the right side, and
Well,
probably not a day one starter is either.
Yeah, I mean, so far to this point, guys. I mean, this guy's played 2 professional games in the NFL. There's a lot of work to do with Trapilo. He's a second-round pick. You expect him to be a developmental type player. He's not a guy who's going to come in and start left tackle day one. The reason the Bears started,
Guys, he was
Braxton
our
Jones-
starting left tackle like 3 weeks ago. You were all saying it. What are we talking about? Like we're just accepting that he's going to be a backup right tackle. This doesn't
No,
frustrate you
that's-
guys at
that's-
all.
I don't think he's going to be backup right tackle. I think they're taking it easy with
That's
him
what
and
he was in that game.
slowly bringing him along. I mean, you guys. I mean, people have talked all offseason about in the last 2 years. I've heard Bears fans talk about good Kurana Magaji. Kurana Magaji looked like he's never played football in his entire life, ever. The guy looks like he's never actually played snaps.
The
of
left
football in
tackle
his
position
entire
in
life,
general
ever.
is
Yes.
fucked, guys.
It's
This is scary.
The thing I talked about the most this offseason, guys, was addressing the left tackle position. It's the second most position in the NFL outside of quarterback, especially for a right-hand quarterback and it being his blind side. I was really disappointed that the Bears didn't find a lockdown left tackle in the draft. Obviously, we all love Colston Loveland, but all the tackles who were drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, all you're hearing about at training camp is how
Kelvin
good, how
Banks
amazing
looks
they all look.
fucking great.
Will Campbell
Banks
looks amazing.
great.
Kelvin Bix looks amazing.
Josh Simmons looks great.
Josh Simmons looks amazing.
Ursary.
Ursary, they all look
Second round
absolutely
guy.
amazing. These are guys that the Bears had a chance to draft, and they chose to draft the tight end in the first round. Listen,
Guys.
I get it, but at some point, the Bears are going to have to take that left tackle position more seriously. I mean, listen, you guys, if you watch,
Jeremy?
if you
Have we
watch
seen his name before?
Jeremy
in the building.
What's
Yeah,
going
listen,
on, Jeremy?
Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. But if you guys, If you go watch, if a tone-setting left tackle makes an insane difference for an NFL football team. If you guys go watch the San Francisco 49ers tape last year with Trent Williams on the field and without Trent Williams on the field, it is a totally different football team. It is a completely different football team. When Trent Williams is not on the field, the San Francisco 49ers are nowhere near as good football team as when he's on. That tone-setting left tackle, in my mind, is the most important thing outside of the quarterback, especially if it's your quarterback's blind side. We've talked about this, guys. We don't want to beat a dead horse. We've talked about this for hours and hours and hours. I was severely disappointed that the Chicago Bears did not leave the 2025 NFL draft with a left tackle. And it looks to me like Ozzie Trapilo right now is being groomed to be a swing tackle. Now, that doesn't mean that the jury's out, guys. This guy's 23 years old, playing his second preseason game in the NFL. Like, it doesn't mean he can't get better.
I thought Braxton Jones looked like a better player yesterday than he ever has in his career yesterday.
What's up? Playing long time, buddy.
But we all know what Braxton Jones is, guys. I mean, he's not gonna turn into Trent Williams because the Bears hired Ben Johnson. Braxton Jones is an average tackle in the NFL who at times plays below average, at times he plays a little bit above average. Depends on the competition. But at the end of the day, if you're serious about winning Super Bowl and you're serious about keeping Caleb Williams healthy and for the next 10 years and being a perennial Super Bowl contender or perennial playoff team, you need to address the left tackle. And Braxton Jones is not it. It's not it.
I got a lot to say about this. Sean, you were trying to jump in. Brandon, you were trying to jump in, but I got a lot to say about this because this is really quick. Strange, guys.
Hold on, Dustin, really quick. Yeah, all I have to say is I thought I was impressed with Theo Benedett yesterday. Theo Benedett, Calvin? Also our highest rated lineman at 81.7 on PFF. I thought he looked really strong on that left side, and the Bears coaching staff is starting to see that. And you're looking now at 4 straight practices where Ozzie Trapilo hasn't even seen the left side of the line. That's telling you all you need to know.
I agree.
For right now. I mean, Sean, Luther Burden has looked like an absolute god on the football field, and he's not playing with the ones. I mean,
he's earning his spot for missing time.
Yeah, which is we knew was going to happen.
Only going to be integrated. And playing left tackle in the NFL is much tougher than learning receiver. Receiver is basically the same any level you play at. When you come to the NFL, left tackle, how many Myles Garrett's has
Kyle, really quick? You're talking. Listen, you're talking about this guy being in his second game. Theo Benedett is essentially in his second game. He got hurt before training camp started.
Yeah, he
went to the University of British Columbia, and he's throwing an 81.7 PFF in his first start.
This is the second time we've come on this podcast, and you've basically counted 2 players out. Like we've played 2 preseason games. We're never going to see this guy in the Bears again. Like that's not the case.
I didn't say these guys are all Trapilo.
Ruben Hippolyte can still be a good player in the NFL.
Ruben Hippolyte looked great.
Be a good player in the NFL. These guys can
the whole rookie class looked great.
It's a developmental process. It's not many tackles drafted after the first round are just thrown in a left tackle to face Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchinson in the week 1 of the NFL season. This is a guy who the Bears are evaluating, and they're trying to figure out where he fits best.
He fits on the right side because that's what he's played his entire life.
The jury is out. I don't think the jury is out.
The jury's not out.
I never said I hated Ruben Hippolyte. I said Ruben Hippolyte looks more like a safety, not a linebacker in the NFL.
He looked like a damn good linebacker yesterday. He looked like a damn good
linebacker. The week before that.
He looked
real quick, guys. We're talking about this left tackle debacle, okay, and that's what this is, okay. And a lot of you guys, I heard you guys saying on your show that Ozzie Trapilo was gonna win this left tackle job.
Thought he was,
and eventually, and Bears fans have thought that. Although he was a right tackle the last 2 years at Boston College, it didn't really make a lot of sense when they drafted him, and we tried to convince ourselves that this guy was something
that was the first message I sent. It doesn't make sense.
But like he was drafted.
I fucking said that when he was drafted.
Yes, you did, Sean. Yes, you did, Sean. Yes, you did. But then we talked. This is my point. We then talked ourselves into him being something that he wasn't. And now we're just trying to be okay with the fact that a guy drafted in the second round, when you could have taken a guy like fucking Andrew Makuba, or you could have taken Ursary if you didn't trade back. There were so many other options, and you took a guy who right now at this moment is your backup right tackle. That is a
Well,
huge
first of all, he'd be a
fucking
swing.
Let me finish real quick. That's a huge problem, ain't it, Kyle? That's a huge problem that you spent that high of
I don't
draft
believe
capital
so. I don't
on a
believe-
guy that is not competing for a starting job on your offensive line. We saw Luke Newman putting in real snaps last night, showing that he can be a starter. We did not see that from Ozzie.
I don't want to call anybody out, but Luke Newman did not look great yesterday.
Luke Newman looked fucking awesome yesterday.
Luke Newman
But that's
looks
besides the point. Braxton Jones.
And once again, I know you guys aren't a huge fan of PFF grades, but this is 2 weeks in a row now where Luke Newman's had the lowest PFF grade of anybody on the Chicago Bears offense. These guys aren't stupid. I'm not saying that every PFF grade that ever comes out is perfectly accurate, but this is a back-to-back weeks of a 51 PFF grade, and numerous times they've talked about how he's missing assignments. His lateral movement to go over to help the center is not fast enough. Newman got beat badly. GJ Profit's putting it right here. Newman got beat badly. I saw it numerous times.
I have a question.
These guys are all developmental projects.
They're
not going to come in and start day one.
One was drafted in the second round.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's see how long it takes Shamar Turner to get on the field. He was a second round pick.
We're talking about the left tackle spot, man.
Okay, well, I'm talking about second round pick. How long is it going to take Shamar Turner to get meaningful playing time on the Chicago Bears, guys?
I hope not very long at all. It better happen
6,
soon.
7, 8 weeks. 6, 7, 8 weeks.
I got a timeout. I got a timeout for the chat. I got a timeout for the chat and the room here. To back up the fact that I also agree, I thought Luke Lumen looked good.
He looked good.
He played 64 preseason.
His name should be Nuke Lumen.
28 of those were blocks, 1-on-1. He's allowed 1 pressure and 0 sacks. I don't know what PFF is looking at, but he has not looked bad, and he did not look bad.
He was the best offensive lineman for the Bears last night, Sean.
Ozzie Trapilo allowed 1 pressure in his start against Miami. What does that mean?
I watched.
What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Ozzie Trapilo allowed 1 pressure in his start for the Bears at left tackle against Miami. So you guys, by the same logic, they're exactly the same, right?
Obviously,
that's your logic. They're exactly the same.
Obviously, the coaches aren't seeing it either. That's why he spent the entire week not on the left side of the line. He's exclusively playing on the right now.
For any Bears fan in the world to come onto a podcast and say, "Oh, it's 2 weeks into the preseason, and this guy we drafted in the draft is now a backup right tackle," is absolutely asinine. These guys are going to get plenty of time.
That's exactly the truth.
Hold on, guys. Let me finish. They're going to get plenty of time to develop, maybe even a year. Maybe Ben Johnson goes, "You know what? I'm going to give him a year to develop." Or Sean, I know you don't want to hear this, but all we've heard about are the troubles of Darnell Wright in this training camp, how he's not in shape, how Dan Rocher's not happy with him. Maybe they plan on Ozzie Trapilo replacing Darnell Wright because they don't feel like paying him a new contract. Maybe that's why Ozzie Trapilo's here. I don't know, but all I can tell you is I am certainly not going to come to a conclusion after the second preseason game.
That's not what I'm doing, though, Kyle. What I am saying is
that I'm looking at what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a guy not play on the left side for a fucking week, dude.
And the left tackle position
is Theo Benedette never played on the left side last year. Here he is.
Ben Johnson was out here saying hopefully we have more clarity this week. And then if we have clarity and we pick the guy, that guy might not be the guy. We might be changing guys throughout the season. This is a problem overall. That's all I'm saying. Ozzie Trapilo could turn into a stud. I am not saying he can't. I am not selling out on Ozzie Trapilo. What I am saying, though, is that the Bears might have really misstepped when they put this offensive line together and this tackle group, and said, we're going to find a good enough left tackle out of these guys, because it does not look like that's what's happening, and that the head coach does not have confidence that's what's going to happen.
I think all I'm saying is everybody relax and temper your expectations. People talked about on this podcast, and people in the Bears community talked about how they believe Jonah Jackson's going to suck on the Bears. He looks pretty damn good. You don't know because it's the preseason, right? And you don't know. We're going up against inferior competition. You don't know. Once we get to the NFL and they're playing the Minnesota Vikings week 1, and those guys, their starters, are hammering down on the Chicago Bears trying to sack the quarterback, then you'll see where these offensive linemen are at. But if the Bears decided, hey, listen, we liked Ozzie Trapilo in the draft, we think eventually he could move to left tackle. Now, this is going to be a long process of development. We tried to throw him into the fire week in training camp. It didn't work out, but that doesn't mean we're out on him. That means it's going to take longer than we thought it was going to take. That's all I'm saying.
The process is shorter than Trapilo might think it is, because Braxton Jones is on an expiring contract. If Trapilo is going to be your left tackle, it's got to fucking happen. And it's got to happen. It's got to happen this season.
As we're watching Darnell Wright's tape from yesterday, he was flat out dominant squashing motherfuckers.
Brennan. And if they already announced that he was their swing tackle yesterday. They said that before the game. They said Ozzie Trapillo is playing swing tackle. That's what they said. You know what that means? That means if Braxton Jones is hurt,
I know it's
Ozzie Trapillo is automatically your backup left tackle. So
or
he's
your
obviously
backup
good
right
enough.
tackle.
He's
if
obviously
Darnell
good.
Wright goes down.
Yeah, sure, but he's obviously good enough to be your immediate backup tackle on both ends. So obviously they like him a little bit.
Hey, Kyle,
they like him a little bit.
I'll take the shot for Jonah Jackson because I stand by what the fuck I said. I still don't trust that fucking
Jonah Jackson.
Listen, if he stays healthy,
there's a lot of people in the world who don't like Jonah Jackson. You're not the only one.
He's going to be damn
good. Someone on this podcast said it, and that was me.
What I'm saying,
Sean, my fucking word.
And what I'm saying, Sean, is people are probably going to say to you, Sean, hey, you didn't like Jonah Jackson. He looked pretty damn good yesterday, right? Yeah, he did against the Bills' backup defensive line. He looked really damn good. Let's see what happens when they're playing real competition on the football field Monday night against Minnesota. Then you'll see what Jonah Jackson is made of. All I'm saying is in 2 preseason games, don't come to a conclusion about anybody.
Nobody's coming to a conclusion, Kyle, but we're
don't assume that he's not going to be. He's not. They don't have the plans to make him left tackle at some point in the future.
Yeah, no, but that's my point, Kyle. That's my point, Kyle, that Ben Johnson is leaving the door open for anything to happen at the left tackle position in the future. And that should concern us a little bit as Bears fans because this offensive line is fucking massively improved, and we're banking on it for this offense to go. We need this offensive line to be damn good for this offense to be damn good, correct? Right?
You guys, you don't have to. Nobody preached offensive line more than me.
Nobody.
Nobody on this podcast.
But when you're talking about how improved this offensive line is, and then you have all of this uncertainty at left tackle, and I've been saying for weeks, they're going to fall back on Braxton Jones. And that's what's happening because he's the veteran, and nobody's establishing themselves. Nobody's separating themselves. Braxton Jones is that guy. But you also saw him get beat again badly on an inside swim move, which seems to be his fucking Achilles heel. He can't pass block to the outside, and if they get a swim move on him on the inside, he's too slow. This is going to get Caleb Williams hits.
Do you think with Tooney there, though, that could be helpful?
It'll make a difference. You
guys, and there's some positives here as well. The fact that Braxton Jones has been in the NFL for 3 years. He's a 3-year veteran in the NFL at left tackle, and he started all 3 years. And immediately when Ozzie Trapillo comes to training camp, he's immediately competing for that left tackle starting job. That's a good start to your NFL career. If you're coming in and competing for the left tackle starting job immediately, which we saw in training camp, and I don't think because we saw in the preseason game he played right, all of a sudden they're like, you know what, Trapillo's out. He's not going to be left tackle. I'm saying the fact that he's even made it a competition for a rookie playing in his second month ever in the NFL, that there's still a ton of growth that you can see out of Trapillo, out of everybody. Luther Burden, Colston Loveland can still get better. They can all. I've been saying
for months, Ozzie Trapillo is just not going to be ready to be a starting left tackle. I felt like this should have been known, but he's consistently been thrown into this conversation and into this competition, and now he's just completely out of it.
Got beat on the inside.
That should be a little bit concerning because he had the opportunity. And you see guys who get those opportunities in the NFL. Some of them seize them, and those guys end up being really good players.
The left tackle,
that's just what we know,
has been a concern for me since the beginning of the offseason. Since the Bears ended last season at 5-12, the first thing I said on this podcast is the Bears need to go get a real legitimate left tackle. Go get a left tackle. How many times on this podcast did I talk about Calvin Banks, Josh Simmons, how many times did I talk about these guys? The Bears chose not to do it. They've put themselves. They've put themselves in this position. I know, but how many times did I say
for Josh Simmons?
And how many times have I said the words eliminate every excuse for Caleb Williams? Left tackle is a big excuse, guys. That's a big fucking excuse.
Number one, I think Ben Johnson being here is going to help negate some of the weaknesses that Ben.
You saw Caleb get that ball out quick when Braxton gave it out.
I also have to say this in 2024, up to his injury, Braxton Jones ranked 21st out of 140 tackles, guys. That's the upper 15% of the league.
Yeah,
it's not like he's just a fucking speed bump.
I want to shed some positive light on this. First off, I thought Braxton Jones looked much improved. He still can't anchor. He gets bullied. He's got no lower body, and that's just going to be who he is. But I also believe this, guys. If Braxton Jones is your starting left tackle when the season kicks off, I think the Bears are okay. I think
that's their best option.
I think the Bears are going to have I called the Bears offensive line a 10 to 14 unit. I think that's where they're going to finish. I think their offensive line is good It's a unit, right? It's a unit. It's not what it was last year. We're focused on every player and how good each player is because none of them play together. If 4 of the 5 are solid players, but they play as a cohesive fucking unit, the left tackle is not going to be as exposed as it's been.
But the
in
left
last
tackle is
couple of
still the
seasons.
most important position on that offensive line. And
But you have what you. We've been talking about this for an hour. We have what we have.
If you got 4 left tackles, you probably have 0 left tackles.
Okay, well that's what you got.
That's concerning.
Guys, they're not going to go make a budget signing at left tackle, and he's going to be the starter.
I agree with what you're saying, Brandon.
We're not saying that.
No, that's not what I'm
saying.
Just
It
saying.
should have been addressed a little bit better.
And you can also say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link because it'll break. And that left tackle will be the weakest link of this offensive line. I agree with what you're saying, Brandon, that the offensive line is much improved, and that improvement across the interior should drip out to the left tackle. And Sean, I agree with what you're saying. The design of this offense.
Yes.
Saw it last night with Caleb getting that ball out to DJ on that out. When Braxton gave up that quick pressure, that's going to help this offensive line as well. But that doesn't mean
it and got the ball out.
Yeah. And that's coaching, that's play calling, and that's Caleb doing the smart thing. Caleb did a lot of smart things last night. He dirted a ball in the ground when the screenplay was broken. That was a great fucking play.
By the way, though, if that's not a preseason game, he's taking.
But I want to see him dirt that ball. Don't you increase your chances of a negative play. Just get it done and get it over with. But the left tackle is still concerning, guys. Regardless of all those things, it's still a big concern.
I can't agree more. And it's something I talked about. You guys got sick of me talking.
I'm more concerned about the running.
Before the draft, you guys got sick of me talking about left tackle and how important. I even at one point said I think it's the second most important position in football, and people disagree with me. To me, left tackle is the second most important position in football, especially if your quarterback's right-handed and that's his blind side. Because if you have no quarterback, you're going to lose. And if Caleb Williams gets blown up on his blind side and gets hurt and is out for the season, the Bears are not going to be a good football team. So why that position wouldn't have been addressed? Listen, I love Colston Loveland. I think he's going to be a good player, but I think a left tackle would have been a better, more valuable pick at 10 than Colston Loveland. And now you see that all of these guys that were drafted in the first and second round, all these tackles except for Trapillo look great. They're all talking about training camp. This guy's awesome. This guy's great. I said I like Calvin Banks. I said I like Will Campbell. I said I like Josh Simmons. I said I like all of them. Go get one of them. And the Bears
you don't know ball, but
so at this point, the Bears have to figure out a way to mask their deficiencies. You have to go help out the left tackle.
He chooses not to
block, do something. But at this point, you have to go help Braxton Jones. For the foreseeable future, guys, it's going to be Braxton Jones, and the Bears are going to have to find a way to mask those deficiencies. Because Brennan, you're right. He's not going to become Trent Williams because Ben Johnson's the coach. That's not going to happen.
We're just hoping for just good enough. That's what
That's what he is.
And we had this level of panic last year with this offensive line, DJ, very early on. Like it's better.
We don't need to have that this year.
We don't. But when you're talking about what we're talking about, it just becomes frustrating when you still don't know who your left tackle even is. This late into the process. I mean, guys, we're coming up on the 3rd preseason game. Real football is coming very soon.
They know who it is. I think they know who it is.
Yeah, but they need to announce it and they need to commit to it. And they're showing it with their actions, and it's what I expected. And I think Braxton can be okay. He can be solid enough given everything that's changed around him. I agree.
I wouldn't rule out Theo just yet.
Yes, and people, I know, Dustin, you've said to me in the past, Kyle, that it can never be perfect for the quarterback. There's going to be something on the team that he's going to have to overcome. But I just don't think left tackle was the best position to make them overcome. That's all I'm saying. Of all the positions to make your quarterback overcome all the deficiencies on your offense, I don't think left tackle was the smartest one to do. Like, I think Colston Loveland, as good as he is, he's a luxury, right? He's a luxury player. You already had a tight end here that's had 7
he might be more than that, though, Kyle.
Yeah, sure, great player, but
he might change the dynamic.
If your quarterback is dead, it doesn't matter how good Colston
is going to change the dynamic.
It doesn't matter.
If I said this line was healthy and Braxton Jones is your worst O-lineman, do you think the Bears are in good shape?
Yes.
I think
they're Sean.
After all that,
yes. Sean, I think they're around the 12th ranked unit in the NFL.
Sean, the only thing that I'm concerned about, or the only thing I guess I think is a big question mark to me personally, and maybe Sean, I'd like to hear what your opinion is on this. You went and addressed the whole offensive line except for left tackle. That just didn't make sense to me. Like, you're like, the center's important, the left guard's important, the right guard's important.
Well, that's what's concerning about the Trapillo pick.
Let's draft the right tackle number 10.
That's what's concerning about the Trapillo pick, isn't it? Because they spent that draft capital. But if you went with your best guy on the board at 10, and I'm never going to fault a team for doing that. If you didn't think that the left tackles were good enough, and we talked about that a lot going into the draft too, they just didn't value.
Which I think that's going to be a mistake because Josh Simmons is absolutely owning Kansas City.
The Bears stuck he is, but the Bears stuck with their board there. But then when you take Trapillo in the second round, like what was the purpose of that if not to have him compete for a starting spot on this offensive line when you needed that help so much? It's like it makes you question the thinking of the front office when they make a move like that. It makes you question it. And then when you start questioning other things.
Real quick, guys, I've never seen this name here before. Real quick, sorry.
Jack Lipsy says, I think Dahlman's going to be the worst lineman. He would be my concern.
Have you guys ever seen this name?
No, I saw him last night in the post game chat. I've never seen him in ours.
Special needs Caleb learn how to jerk a broken screen. So inspiring. Obviously, another Caleb hater in the chat here, but we do appreciate you being with us, man. Thank you so much.
There we go.
Please hit that like and subscribe button. I don't know, Dustin. I agree with you, but if you're saying like, well, they went with position or they went with the best player available, well, then maybe that's what they did until Ozzie Trapillo. Maybe they thought Luther Burton was the best player available, and they thought Shamar Turner was the best player available, and they're like, well, we can't draft an offensive tackle because all these best player availables are still available.
Dante, them trading down from 41 took them out of position to draft an Ariante Ursary.
And was pounding the table for
who is a starting left tackle in this league
and dominating training camp.
And when that decision making doesn't really add up to me. I keep your two players. Give me the one guy that's going to impact the most important position on the offensive line, like Kyle said. That would be my decision making.
I agree.
I wouldn't have traded back. I wouldn't have traded back.
I was screaming it from the mountain. You guys know I love a good offensive line is the foundation of a winning football team. That's what it is, guys. It's that simple. Go look back since 1926, since the Bears were the good offensive line wins championships. And for some reason, the Bears seem to think that the left tackle position's not that important. And you guys, to be honest with you, you can't blame all this on Ryan Poles. This draft was influenced heavily by Ben Johnson.
Wait. Ryan Poles has drafted 3 left tackles, man. If they don't have a left tackle, Brian Poles is solely to blame. For
Ben Johnson could have said, I don't want Luther Burden at 39. I want an offensive tackle. He could have said
because
that.
They drafted him.
They would have drafted
Wasn't Trapillo somebody he knew?
Well, I got a question.
You can't put all the Ben Johnson is going to pass.
Let me ask you guys this.
He gets all the credit for a great draft, but he doesn't get any of the scrutiny for not drafting a tackle. That's not how it works.
Let me ask you guys this. Last year's draft. You took Caleb Williams at 9, right? Or Roma Dunze at 9. Mm-hmm. Okay. Would you rather have had Oli Fasanu, who went at 11?
I would have rather had Jared Verse. Jared Verse was the guy I wanted with that pick. But yeah,
so you would go Fasanu was tackle again.
I thought the defensive end was just as a big of a need, and I thought Jared Verse was the best player available in the draft. But Olu Fashanu has looked solid. I mean, he had a rough first season with the Jets, but he's looked solid in some spots, and he's your prototypical left tackle. So, like, I wouldn't have been upset if they drafted him. I thought, like, there were certain places you had obviously way bigger needs. Rome felt like a luxury, but again, best player available. That's who Poles said was the guy that was the best on their board. And in the first round, I am a big proponent of a team, whether they're right or wrong, taking the highest rated player on their board. And I think Rome is going to have a fucking hell of a season to where that conversation becomes null and void, Sean. But yeah, I would have been fine with the left tackle.
Yeah, Squeegee says there wasn't any blue chip left tackle available that deep in the draft. I mean, Squeegee, they could have drafted Kelvin Banks instead of Colson Loveland. They had the option. They decided against it, but they could have
traded back and drafted Josh Simmons.
Drafted Josh Simmons.
Could have got Ursary in the second round.
This is the guy people are talking about like he's the next Trent Williams in the NFL out of Chiefs training camp. But obviously, you guys, it's way too early to determine an outcome on any of these guys. But yes. I'm saying the Bears had plenty of chances to draft a better left tackle than Ozzie Trapillo, and they decided against it. So now it is their job to mask the offensive line deficiencies. That's their job now. They have now burdened themselves with that task.
Let's talk about the rest of this rookie class, guys, because I thought it had a really good showing. And you can say that the Bears missed on Trapillo.
James, we know it was the best player available on their board because that's who they drafted. We know that teams were trying to trade up with the Bears to get Colston Loveland, and the Bears were not entertaining it. We know Sean McVay wanted to move up for Colston Loveland. We know these things. These things have been reported and talked about.
And Colston Loveland looks like exactly what the Bears drafted him to be, and everything
yeah,
that
he
Ben
does.
Johnson and everything that Ben Johnson wants him to be, and
Yeah,
everything
and
Ben
real quick,
Johnson's going to use him for. And Luke Newman, to me, Kyle, I don't. PFF says what they say. Looked phenomenal to me. Luther Burden
pretty
looked
good.
good. Right now, this
Yeah.
draft class as a whole
Now
looks
we can't
pretty
root for Ozzie.
successful. And Trapillo was going to spend some time early in this season
I'm rooting for
developing on the bench, but it doesn't mean that Dan Roschon is not making that kid the best football player he can be. Kyle, you're right. There's no verdict on Ozzie Trapillo. Dustin, you're right. It's concerning that Braxton Jones will ultimately be the left tackle of this football team, and we can't do any
It's
more than
concerning
that.
that if you draft
That's what we got.
we see what Braxton Jones is, guys. So if you draft a guy in the second round at the tackle position, I would hope and think and pray that guy would be good enough to supplant a guy who's as average as Braxton Jones. Like, at the very least, like you can at least say, like, this should be an easy decision. You should be able to make that an easy decision for your coaching staff, and that's not what happens. So that tells you, like, this guy maybe was not made or meant to play that left tackle position this early on. So it just seems like a big misstep to me.
Read real quick. Squeegee says the draft was not deep for the O-line period. Even at 10, Banks and Simmons were both crapshoots. I mean, that's just your opinion, Squeegee. I don't think Banks was a crapshoot. I don't think in any way, shape, or form Calvin Banks was a crapshoot. I think he's a very good player, and he's going to be very good in the NFL. I said the same thing about Will Campbell, and I said the same thing about Josh Simmons. I agree with Sean the whole time. I like Josh Simmons a lot. The only reason Josh Simmons got knocked out of the top 10 in this draft was because of that injury. If he overcomes that injury and stays healthy for the rest of his career, he's going to be a legitimate left tackle in the NFL for a very long time. The Bears had a chance to draft him. They had
the concerns were his size and his arm length, and that was all bullshit
every
to me.
player in the draft has concerns, guys.
The left tackles in this draft, though, Kyle, that is a fact. There was a lot more concerns attached to those left tackles in this draft than there usually are.
Less concerns with me for Calvin. I love Calvin Banks, and I think he's going to be a very good player.
Here.
Somebody's going to be right. Somebody's going to say, maybe Squeegee's right, and I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think Calvin Banks is going to be a very good player in the NFL for a long time. And
why are we talking about fucking Calvin Banks?
Because the chat is talking about it, Brandon.
I thought that
we're talking about.
I thought that Braxton Jones looked better last night, and I thought he was playing next to a rookie, and I think that means something. I think that Braxton Jones next to Joe Thuney will be a more improved player, and the left tackle is going to be what it's going to be because you got what you got.
Simmons wasn't injured at the draft. He went through his pro day. He also went through the
he was getting healthy at that point.
Yeah, he was getting healthy. And go pay attention to Chiefs.
It was a concerning
but you don't
injury,
even have to, because you're going to watch him dominate against the Chicago Bears this weekend, because every report out of there looks like a 5-star starter at left tackle that just fell into the Chiefs' lap so they can continue their dynasty, just like the Eagles.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are smart. So when the Chiefs
Packers drafted Anthony Belton, number 54. I believe that was the tackle out of Florida.
And you guys, the Chiefs
Brandon, why are we talking about tackles out of Florida? What are we talking about?
And if the Chiefs,
I'm reading the chat because we're neglecting the hell out of them.
You guys, and the Chiefs,
were literally talking about the
Chiefs
chat.
are
Like,
a well-run organization. So if the Chiefs drafted Josh Simmons, he's probably going to be a good player, because very rarely do the Chiefs draft poor players in the first round. It's very rare. I mean, you can go back in the last 10 drafts, but take a look for me. But I don't think the Chiefs are miss on drafts very often. And they decided that Josh Simmons was good enough to be drafted in the first round. The Bears could have done the same thing. They could have done the same exact thing.
Their rookie class came up just this past year from what's the rookie contracts, like 4 years? Their entire class they re-signed. They don't miss on drafts. They kept everybody.
Yeah,
I was a little more concerned about the running backs last night than the left tackle position, guys.
I'm very concerned about
we're missing two of them.
I'm very concerned about
and Roschon Johnson seems to be a guy who's just never available. That's a problem. It's becoming a problem. This guy needs to be playing football.
I don't want to hear about the Britten Browns.
I don't think there's an issue with Monangai, guys. I think it was just a precaution, and he's gonna be fine. Roschon is a little more concerning. Obviously, DeAndre Swift was just held out just to be held. Like, there's no injury with DeAndre Swift.
I knew that was going to happen.
So I mean, like,
Zach, those aren't first round picks, guys. I said go back and look at their first round picks. They rarely miss. And real quick, Calvin, I love you, man, but I think I don't think the Chiefs are done by any means. I think as long as Patrick Mahomes is on your team, you got a damn good fighting chance. And I think the Chiefs are going to be a very good team this season. Watch out.
I think as long as Caleb Williams,
I can't believe I have to say this, but watch out for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think as long as Caleb Williams,
watch out for the Denver Broncos. They might overtake the Chiefs.
Watch out for the Chargers. They might overtake both of them.
All three are going to be good teams. Best division of football.
But to wrap up this left tackle thing, I do believe that Braxton Jones is the guy. The Bears have decided that, it seems like, by what they're showing us, right? And I think Braxton Jones can have his best season as a pro. I just want to say that I hope that's not fool's gold for this Bears team, because if he's just average and you pay him after this, because again, as Brandon mentioned earlier, he's on the last year of his contract. Say he does have that good left tackle season, and you got to pay him good left tackle money, and he's not really that guy. That now you've dug yourself a hole there too. I was hoping Trapillo could establish himself in this competition. I didn't think he would, but Braxton Jones should be able to be good enough to get paid by somebody at the end of this offseason. And hopefully Trapillo is just that backup plan to not have to pay him, guys. You get by with him this year, and Trapillo gets good enough, right?
Dan Roschon is going to know. Braxton Jones is not going to get paid a bunch of money and without knowing whether or not he's the guy that should get paid money. We're beyond that, man. We got Dan Roschon and Ben Johnson are going to know if Braxton Jones, after an entire year of football being his coach, are going to know if that guy deserves to be paid or not. And if Ryan Poles is drafting a left tackle in next year's draft, that also needs to be addressed. That's 4 years consecutive. This guy cannot draft left tackle.
He's going to do it in the first round. It's going to be a totally different conversation. It's not going to be a 5th round pick.
We just said he missed on talent in the second.
In the 3rd round.
We just voiced that he missed talent in the second round.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can't critique him for missed talent. You're critiquing him for the players he drafted. He's never drafted a tackle that high. Let's see. He drafted Darnell Wright in the 1st round. He looks pretty damn good, right? I think he looks good.
I mean, are we saying the only tackles that will ever succeed in the NFL are drafted in the top 10?
I'm saying
so far for Ryan Poles, that's immediately true.
Not to mention, you guys, as a 5th round pick, Braxton's had success in the NFL. For a 5th round pick,
I think Braxton
he's been good for where he was drafted.
Yes, the value is great.
Yeah, 100%.
Value that pick
is that good enough for what you want in this offense?
No, it's not.
And then is it good enough to pay him $20 million a year, like Squeegee is suggesting? And V-Dog, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because Braxton is getting the starting reps, and Ozzie Trapillo is getting none. He's not even getting reps at left tackle.
Trey Ferguson, what's up?
Theo Benedette is the other guy there, and Karan can't stay healthy, and he's not getting any quality reps in terms of who he's playing against. I think Braxton is clearly the guy, guys. It would come out of left field if they said next week after the preseason game that Ozzie is our starting left tackle, would it not?
Well, I think
based on what we're seeing right now.
I mean, we just watched Ozzie Trapillo start for majority of the game in week 1. Then we watched Braxton start for majority of the first half in game 2. If week 3 Ozzie Trapillo comes out and plays left tackle the whole damn game, do we know anything more than we did a week?
I think you guys are sleeping on Theo Benedette, dude.
I like Theo. He's got a great kick step. He can beat a guy to the edge. I mean, he's looked solid. But all I'm saying is I don't think that the coaching staff has taken him over a Braxton Jones in this competition.
I will tell you this: his numbers, as far as the run blocking, pass pro was about the same between him and Braxton, but he destroyed Braxton in run as a run defender or run option. So
didn't Trapillo have the highest pass?
Theo Benedette was the highest, 81.7. Trapillo was second at 68. Braxton Jones was 3rd.
That's what I'm saying. For a rookie in his 2nd game to be the 2nd highest pass blocking grade on the Bears is not a bad. Like, listen,
on the right side,
it sucks that I'm talking about the first
where
week
he's good.
On the first week against Miami, he had a good pass blocking grade.
He did have a good
PFF.
grade.
He had a good pass blocking grade from PFF against Miami in week 1. He did. All I'm saying is that's something to build off, guys. Like, there's a guy. I'm not counting Ozzie Trapillo out. Does it suck, Dustin? I agree with you. Does it suck that we're now having this conversation because we've seen 3 different starting left tackles for the Chicago Bears in the preseason? Yeah, of course. Of course, you want to go into the season with a starting left tackle. You're like, not only is this guy the starting left tackle, he's good.
And they're trying to do their due diligence.
Yeah,
they're trying to see these guys at all these spots.
And now they have to figure this out. They have to figure this out. Good,
but you hope they figure it out sooner rather than later, and it's already getting pretty late. So
at least at the end of the day, if all else fails, you have Braxton Jones to lean on, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what the coaching staff is thinking.
Yeah,
I think that's what the coaching staff is thinking. Okay, well, I guess we can wrap that up. We still have no fucking idea what's going on at the left tackle spot, and we'll see hopefully more next week.
Until they tell us, we won't.
Brandon wanted to talk about running backs. We were talking about the Monangai, Roschon not playing. DeAndre Swift held out. I thought Britten Brown looked pretty damn good with the opportunity.
To me, I mean, and it's concerning more so than you're adding injury to insult here, okay? Because this is a group that I didn't think was anywhere near the top of the league to begin with. I think they're a bottom 5 running back room in the
Ant
NFL.
Mass, what up?
And now we're missing some of them. So yeah, the running back room is
Up, Ant-Man.
concerning as hell to me. Ben Johnson clearly doesn't like what he's got. They're gonna add to this next season. It's probably going to be one of the most disappointing aspects of this football team, is my guess.
I am on Bears running back island, I think, because I really think this running back room is
Yeah.
going to be better than people
I
are
agree.
saying.
I agree
You
with
with me,
Dustin.
Kyle?
Like,
Okay.
who?
Yeah. Like DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Those two, those two
So you're
specifically
So
are
you're
going to have
excluding
good
Roschon
seasons.
Johnson.
I've been excluding Roschon Johnson
So-
since he was drafted.
So you're excluding
I've
the
never
second
included
player,
Roschon
the
Johnson.
player listed second on the depth chart. That's concerning as well as the left tackle.
Monangai, no, not to me, because Monangai showed me more in his one preseason.
He had 4 carries.
action.
Dustin.
Yeah, and he looked fucking great to me. He looked great.
Yeah,
in the way
Brennan,
he
you said
ran the
earlier
ball.
you said earlier that Ryan Poles called out Jade Walker's name. Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles both
Have
talked about
talked
Kyle Monangai and how
about
good he
Monangai.
is. And Eric Bieniemy's
Well, I
talked
didn't
about how
say-
he is the
I
best
said-
learner in the room, and he's the first guy in and the last guy out every single day. And he came out and said, "You guys, I get there at 6 a.m. I leave at 8 p.m." He's taking this seriously. I think Kyle Monangai
Well, I
is going to
said
be a
that-
good
I
player in the
said that
NFL. I
Jade
think he has a
Walker's-
David Montgomery type ceiling. I think he can be that type of player in the
Okay,
NFL.
see, this is where I mentioned this months ago, guys. This is a 7th round draft pick. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We watched
cares?
4 runs.
Brandon, you
We've heard
compared him
the
to
coaches-
Kareem Hunt on
We've-
Thursday.
we've heard
That was
the-
a
we've-
good comparison.
No, I said if he becomes Kareem
yes,
Hunt.
because he
Yes.
is one of the best learners on his
I
team.
actually called him Kareem Hunt last week.
Well, then both of y'all did it. Brandon said it on the bare minimum on Thursday.
I said that's the production that would make this running back room
Oh,
better than it is.
all I'm
because
saying
I think it's bad.
Monangai is going to get better as the season goes on because Bieniemy will be on his ass, and Monangai is, like Kyle said, the best learner in that room, and he wants to
Okay,
get
that's
better.
fine
and
and
he
dandy.
has
What's the
natural
ceiling
talent to
for
run the
Monangai?
football.
What's the
ceiling
ceiling
for
for
him
the
is being the
7th round
second running
pick?
back. The ceiling for him is being the second running back on this team, Sean. And
I'll
I know
say
you
this.
disagree with that because you're
Who?
a big Roschon guy. But I'm
If
talking about
Roschon's
Monangai.
healthy, and Roschon's playing, mark my words, and I will bet you on this, he will be number 2, and Monangai will not. I will bet you on it.
He looks like number 2 for sure.
He, as Brandon said, he played 4 downs against what, second stringers in a preseason game, and everyone anointed
You
him.
just see it
Herschel
with guys.
Walker?
You just
Come on.
no, that's not what
I
I'm
mean, but
saying.
Sean,
But
Sean,
I anointed him better than Roschon Johnson.
Sean,
Okay, guys,
don't you-
hold on. Let's
Which
get to
isn't
this
true.
chat. Let's
Which
get to
isn't
this
true.
chat.
You
don't
know
you-
why?
to me
Because
it
Roschon
is.
Johnson doesn't get the
Who's
pants
changing-
pants, bro.
Hold on. Let's get to this chat real quick. I didn't know this. VDog says, question for you guys. What did you think of the play calling last night? It came out after the game. Ben only called the first half.
Yeah, that
Declan
was-
Doyle called
Yeah,
the second.
Ben Johnson said that right after the game.
Right after the game, yeah.
Because
And
there's
then the
there's
defensive
still,
coordinator.
still
And
a
Al-
question there, guys.
And Al Harris,
There's
Al
still a
Harris called
question in there.
Al Harris called the defense in the second half.
I don't think anything of it because all these coaches do this in preseason. This
I thought the
happens
play call
all the time.
VDog, I thought the play calling was phenomenal. I thought it's still the plan that Ben Johnson put in place.
Yeah, it's Declan Doyle calling Ben
calling the
Johnson's
plays.
plays.
Well, but you
But
could tell
I
that
thought
Declan
it was
Doyle
great. I thought
tell-
the play calling top to bottom, both offensively and defensively, was good. I think Dennis Allen just needs his guys because they're really not letting the studs play on defense, and Jalen Johnson's not there.
Well, they didn't
Sweat's
allow a
not getting
point.
any minutes. Sweat's
They
not
didn't
getting
allow
any
a
minutes.
point.
No,
I
whole
love,
lot
I
of
think-
Monangai.
I
think-
love being on the Roschon Johnson.
Getting a whole lot of
love it
Monangai
myself.
love.
Sean,
I
I just
love
want
it.
Sean, I just
I
wanted to ask
love
you,
it.
Sean, do you believe that there's any merit to the conversation that he is often injured?
Who?
There's clearly
Roschon Johnson.
Roschon
Yes.
can't stay healthy.
So if he can't stay
Yes.
healthy, then by default, Kyle
he-
Monangai becomes your number 2.
Number one, though. Number one.
If Kyle
Jesus,
Monangai-
everyone in the chat is on Monangai.
If Kyle
That's
Monangai,
fine.
Kyle
I
Monangai,
love being on this island by myself. I
Sean,
love it.
Sean,
Because
you
I'll
know
tell
I
you, at
don't
the end of the
hate
day,
Roschon.
if Roschon's healthy, he's a better running back than the 7th round pick out of fucking Rutgers. It's not even close. Not even
Roschon
close.
hasn't shown
Just
me
because I
anything,
like Kyle
man.
He
Monangai.
showed it last year.
Just
No,
because
he
I like
showed
Kyle
it last
He
year.
showed
with
that
given
he
the
can
opportunity.
do short yardage, which I know he can do. But a lot of guys in the NFL can do that, and Kyle Monangai can do
Wheeler
that.
looks
But Kyle
slow as
Monangai
shit.
might be able to do better. I am not a fan of Ian Wheeler. I don't want to talk about him, but if you
He's
guys
slow.
want to,
He's
yeah,
slow.
he's clunky. He's clunky when he runs. I am not a fan of his running style at all.
I
I am a
wanted to
fan of
see-
Kyle Monangai's running style.
I wanted to see more
Oh,
of
shit.
Wheeler, and I
You got
saw
Melon
more, and I
Smasher on your
wasn't
side.
impressed. And
Sean,
I will say this.
Sean, I don't hate Roschon Johnson. I never
I
said
don't- I don't
Everybody
hate him
hates
either.
Roschon Johnson.
I don't hate Roschon. I'm the guy who said, you guys, if everybody else can't be critiqued because the play calling and the offensive line last year, how can you critique Roschon Johnson? I still think he needs a chance, but here's the only problem: is the only way to get a chance. Be healthy.
Yeah,
That's the only way to get a chance.
Yeah.
You got to be healthy.
Every
Right now, he
running
can't do
back
that.
on this roster has their limitations, some of them even health. And
Hey,
I think
really
there's
quick,
going to be
Relentless
some.
Mikey, didn't DeAndre
Yes.
Swift have his lowest carries of this
Yeah,
of his career
3.7
last year?
Yards per
The
carry.
offensive line sucked. That's
Yes, he
why.
did. That's why I agree with you,
Look,
Sean.
I think
agree
that
with
that's a
100%.
big reason why I am on this running back room is going to be better than people think island, because this offensive line has been drastically
Yeah.
improved and they're going to open up a lot of holes, and Ben Johnson's going to use DeAndre Swift to his strengths instead of trying to force a square peg into a round hole with how they utilize DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift like this team did last
I'm
year.
watching Swift
right?
very closely in fantasy
Yeah.
football, guys.
I'll
Very
say
closely.
Fuck
in
off,
fantasy
Kyle.
football.
I'm watching them. You
I'm
don't get
watching
to watch
them.
them. I'm already watching.
I'll say this: in this
I'll tell you that
offense,
right now.
if Wheeler and Brown can average 4.9 and 4.6 yards per carry behind this line, DeAndre Swift is in for a big season. That I will say.
Yeah, it should be better by default, right?
It
By
should
default.
be.
I mean,
Ian
you
Wheeler
got
is
Joe
slow, rocket
Tooney,
dream.
Drew Dahlman, and Jonah Jackson. This run game should be better by default than it was last year.
Do
But
you
now
guys
I believe
believe
I agree with
that the
Dustin. I
Bears?
think there's
do you
more
think that
potential
the
in this room than people believe.
Do you
And
think
Ben
that the-
Johnson wants to run the ball. Go
do you
ahead, Brett.
think that the Bears will be drafting a running back next season?
I think that's a very high possibility.
That's
yes.
true, Mikey.
Yes,
Regardless of
100%.
anything, yes.
Yes, 100%.
Do you think they're doing so out of necessity if they do?
Well, I mean,
This
it
chat
could
is
be
going
a
off. Y'all
luxury,
are
Brennan.
killing
They could
it.
probably go into next season with the same running back room. It's considered a luxury. It's not necessity,
Thank
but
you,
yeah,
B-Dog.
they should
I
draft
don't-
a better running back.
This is blind faith. I never understand
You're
it.
my love. I
It
want
doesn't
that.
make sense. DeAndre Swift has his strengths. He also has grave weaknesses that will be exploited by defenses when they have a chance to. Kyle
a
Monangai is a
one-dimensional
seventh
player.
round pick who's ran the ball 4 times and he's injured for his second game. And Roschon Johnson can't seem to keep his head on, man. So there's
I don't
reason
think
for
Monangai is
concern
injured,
with the running back. I think Kyle Monangai would be on the field if he wasn't.
No,
Dustin.
I
Something,
don't think it's a
something-
precaution.
Here,
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
this
say
coaching
that it was a
staff's given
precaution
any
because he was
breaks.
hurt. He was a late scratch. During the pregame, 10 minutes before the game, they said Kyle Monangai will not be suiting up now. Keyword being now, which means something happened to him that he couldn't suit up for the football.
Yeah, I think it was
season.
I don't think we're going to see a big injury listed.
Yes,
on,
Zach,
on-
they would have
on-
taken Travion Henderson and it would have changed the entire
It would-
dynamic
they
of
would
this
have- if
offense.
they
Yeah,
could've.
James asked the question: do you guys think Poles would have drafted Monangai if some of those second and third round running backs
No,
were available?
absolutely
no.
not.
They would have taken the guy like a Travion Henderson or a
Yeah, and
Quinshon Judkins
they
or
probably wouldn't have drafted Luther Burden. They would have drafted
And
Kyle
James-
Williams in the draft.
James,
That's
and
what you say
I know
about
you
any
probably mean
position.
this, all due respect. It's not Poles who'd be doing any of that anyways. Ben Johnson would have decided which running back the Bears were drafting. And that gives me hope when it comes to Kyle Monangai. This is the first running back that Ben Johnson's drafted, and he's got a pretty good history of that.
and
He
it was
likes-
a very deep
he's-
running
he's-
back class, guys.
He's
A
good at
very
seeing
talented running
talent
back
in
class.
the player, but I still think the
Yeah,
Bears.
Justin, you're right.
Listen, I'm going to say the same thing I said about these guys, the edge position. On paper, this is one of the worst units in the NFL. As far as I'm concerned. The
No,
running
for sure,
back,
and it's being treated as such across the league in all these rankings. But all I'm saying is, I think DeAndre Swift is in for a blow up season in this offense. Ben Johnson wants to establish the run to then use the play action. The running game is going to be
To
hugely
then
important.
trade DeAndre Swift again.
Whether or not it's Roschon or Kyle Monangai, I personally think Monangai is going to establish himself as as that power guy, the second running back in this offense. But no matter who it is, Ben Johnson's going to want to run the fucking football, and you need guys that have vision and that can get through that line of scrimmage when it's dirty and find some cutback lanes. And I just like what Kyle Monangai does in that role. You need a guy that can run between the tackles efficiently. I like what Kyle Monangai brings in there. Roschon will be great for those power, just goal line pushes, man. That's what Roschon does, and that's his strength. That's one thing he showed me that he can do really well. So
Well,
I'm
you
fine
guys-
with
yes.
using him in those situations.
I
But
think
you
the
still need
Bears-
an every down running back
I
on
think
this football
Ben-
team.
Yeah, I think
Guys,
Ben
we
Johnson
don't
was
have one.
concerned about this position prior to the draft. I think he was concerned about this position throughout the draft. I think he settled on the guy he thought was best available to him. And I think he's still concerned about it now.
Well, you guys, yesterday, once again, it was just a preseason game. But
concerning
all you can
still,
ask
sure.
for is for your team to dominate the competition if they're inferior competition. The Bears yesterday, without the 3 running backs you guys are talking about being the best running backs in the building, rushed for 171 yards.
Britton Brown looked good, guys.
171
Britton
yards.
Brown
The
can
Bears rushed
suck
for
my
yesterday.
balls.
Britton Brown looked good. He looked fluid in his running. He knew he knew
Zach
where to go.
Lipsy says, "Can you guys give us a quick fantasy breakdown?" You talking about Bears players, Zach? Colston Loveland. That's my
So
fantasy
guys you
player.
like early and guys you don't like in the first 2 rounds. I mean, that's a little bit off the cuff.
This conversation could go on for.
yeah. This ain't necessarily a fantasy show. Y'all don't want to get into that.
Yeah, we could finish with
Zach.
some
You should
fantasy stuff.
Zach. You should tune in on Wednesdays because we do a lot of fantasy, and we've talked about many a time. If you go back and watch the Wednesday shows, players to avoid, sleepers, breakout players, second-year players, rookies. We've done it all, man. We've talked about it all. I mean, there's plenty
Zach,
of guys.
Jameer Gibbs is my number.
I think Travion Henderson should be sneaking into that 3rd, 4th round conversation. I think that there's guys who should be falling out of that 3rd, 4th round conversation. But I mean, we could talk about that all day, man. All day. I think Ricky Pearsall should be involved in that 2nd, 3rd round conversation. I think his ADP right now has him at like 60, 70 or something.
Yeah,
something
you're going pretty high on Pearsall. You can wait a little long. You can wait a little longer.
I take guys where I can get them. I don't worry about what other people are going to do, man. Ricky Pearsall had 1 drive.
No, it's about what you do. You can get value.
Like Sean said, in their preseason, they played all their starters for 1 drive, and Pearsall had 6 fantasy points in 1 drive, and that's going to continue.
Pearsall's going to be great. All I'm saying is you don't have to take them in the 3rd round. You can get them in the 4th.
If you're doing a draft with Sean Lugo, you do. I can tell you that shit.
I'm keeping him in boobs. He's my keeper.
Zach, I think
Sean's keeper, bro.
I think
that's Sean's keeper, dude. Mine's Lamb McConkey. Sean's keeper Pearsall, bro. Pearsall's going to be really good this season, guys.
You have to keep a player drafted after the 5th round.
Especially
Brock Bowers is
huge
top of the 2nd round. That's a player that I really like this year. With the
who I'm really high on, guys, in the first 3 rounds that I can get my wide receiver 1 in the 3rd round, maybe, is Marvin Harrison Jr.
And Roma Dunze.
I'm very high on Marvin Harrison Jr. this year. I wasn't as high on him last year, but I'm taking all the stock in.
I love Marvin Harrison.
Roma Dunze as well.
Rome is a
Kyler Murray. I don't think Kyler Murray is very good.
But he's got to throw the ball to somebody.
I think the Bears wide receiver room is going to fuck a lot of people because that ball is going to be tossed around.
It's all over the place.
It's going to be tossed
around. A lot of mouths to feed.
Sean, I agree with you because Bears and my Bears fantasies, it's Caleb Williams and then it's Colston Loveland. That's how I'm drafting Bears players.
Sean, Caleb Williams played 2 drives. He hit like 7 different receivers.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
He's going to be
it's boomer bust. It's boomer bust, bro. They're going to
Cole Kmet or Kyle Pitts, guys. This is the question of the day.
You know where I stand.
I'm going Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
All right, yeah,
he's their number. Agreement. He's not sharing any of the load in Atlanta. Cole Kmet's going to be 50.
Yeah, he's in a much better situation than either.
I mean, you guys, people keep talking about how the Bears played.
Big surprise! Anthropology doesn't like fantasy football. What a fucking
shocker!
you guys,
color me surprised.
Relentless Mikey says he'd stash Zacchaeus. You guys. People keep talking about how the Bears played a bunch of inferior competition yesterday. You guys, Cole Kmet made that catch yesterday down the middle of the field against DeMar Hamlin, who's going to be a rotational player for the Bills. He's not like necessarily a backup. He's going to play meaningful snaps for the Buffalo Bills this season. Cole Kmet's going to be heavily involved in this offense. The more I see it, the more I like it.
He's like the tight end 30 in fantasy right now, guys.
Who?
Cole Kmet.
No, I would not draft Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet.
I'm not saying you should draft Cole Kmet. What I'm saying is
not draft him.
Exactly what Sean and I said going into the season. This 2 tight end set's going to be very fun to watch for the Bears. You saw it on the first drive of the game.
That's something we wanted to talk about tonight. I talked about it in my article that I put on 4-Star Chicago Sports last night about the the preseason recap. And I mean, yes, these 2 tight ends showed just in that 1 drive, 3 catches for 55 yards between the 2 tight ends. They showed you exactly what this offense is going to be focused around.
Why they drafted
drafted Colston Loveland, because these 2 tight ends are matchup nightmares. No matter who they end up against, when you split them out, when you leave them inside, they're not going to be doing a whole lot of chip blocking because Ben Johnson wants to get them out there. They're going to be highly used in the play action. That's when these tight ends are going to come open. I mean, it opens up so much for this offense, guys. And Ben Johnson is just a kid in a candy store with Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland in this offense. The 2 tight end sets are going to be heavy all year, and it's going to be, and it's going to be pass heavy out of it. It's not going to be about running the ball.
I
It's
like
going to be
them
about
both a lot.
getting them both involved in this offense in the passing game.
I like them both a lot. Yeah, obviously, Colson Loveland has a much higher ceiling, but I like both of these players, and they're going to make the Bears' offense more dynamic.
Mikey,
and
what
loves
are you
two tight end
saying?
sets. I mean, this is
Thomas
couldn't be any
Jr.
better
ain't
for
going
their-
No, I think
nowhere.
he's
for
talking
Ben
about
Johnson.
Brian Robinson Jr. out of Washington. I think that's what he means.
Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis
Oh,
Hunter.
what the hell is this shit?
And Travis Hunter are about to explode.
I'm going to go ahead and ban this user and delete their comments, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah,
It's ads.
no,
Yeah,
you banned
it's just-
Romy.
You banned Romy, bro.
Oh, Romy, sorry. How do I stop? It was supposed to be this guy. Another comment came in right when I did that. Sorry, Romy. Let's figure this out.
How do you unban Romy?
How do we unban Romy? No, Romy.
Oh,
The chat's just moving too fast, guys.
Yeah, you guys. Mike Ross says you guys are getting popular. There are bots, so he's saying you're going to see this more often on your podcast. The more you
Yeah,
go,
but-
I've
Guess
seen
that's-
this on podcasts.
Guess that's good news.
Dustin, you now have a job for the rest of the show. You need to figure out how the hell to get Romy back on here, man. We love
Let's see
Romy.
here. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I love Romy too, man. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to
son
spend.
of a bitch.
You guys, someone
Dustin,
had to
you
do it.
killed Romy.
Someone had to do it. Romy wasn't banned in a day. Let's see.
Oh my God, they killed Romy. Get him back. Get him back. Is there anything
Okay,
else?
guys,
That's
we're not gonna
is there
spend
anything
too
else that
much-
concerned you guys in that football game last night? I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
let's
lot of
talk-
positives.
Yeah,
There's a
listen, this is nitpicking, guys, but the
The
special
fall of
teams,
Romy.
the special teams got better, but they still do not look very good. The average return,
Pour some out for the Romy.
the average field position in the week one of the NFL season on kickoff returns was the 22-yard line. The Bears and their week one, these are the starting field positions against the Dolphins: 42, 35, 49, 39 in their kickoffs. Here's against the Bills: 33, 28, 30, 32, 31, 31, 33. So they're still allowing an average of the 31-yard line, even after they clean things up in the second game. So the Bears definitely had, but you know who they did put on the field in the second half in special teams, and it was an absolute monster.
Stop breaking my balls, Bruce.
He actually had their last 4 tackles on special teams, 1 punt and 3 kickoffs. Ruben Hippolyte had the last 4
Looks
tackles
great.
on special teams in
he
that
looks
game.
great.
He is
whole
going to be
the rookie class as a whole.
important
Luke
special teams.
Newman, Ruben Hippolyte,
really weird.
Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, the rookie class. We can talk about Trapillo all day, guys. It's looking like we're coming away. Ben Johnson's going to come away with a pretty solid first draft. And we haven't even seen Shamar Turner on the field yet. So, I mean, right now, I'm looking back at this draft and I'm not thinking too much about Ozzie Trapillo because I think it looks good. All these guys look like they can make an impact this year. Am I right? And even if you have Ozzie Trapillo as your swing tackle to back up both tackles, starting tackles, this is a pretty damn good draft.
Yeah, that's the Sean special turning off the
All right,
stream.
Dustin, you ready?
That's a what?
That's the Sean special turning off the stream.
Dustin, go to the members tab
Members. I
and
don't
click on
see
the
it.
three dots next to the user you want to unban.
Okay, but that's not. Is that in YouTube though, or is that in here? Because I don't
Oh,
see no
that's in
members tab.
StreamYard, but I think you have to do it when the show is over.
Yeah, Romy, we'll take care of you, man. I'm sorry. I was trying to get rid of the bot. My apologies.
Sure.
We'll
You're
get
welcome
you back
back.
in.
Yeah, you just threw in a chat at the wrong
Sure.
time, man.
Yeah,
No,
you know what,
bad
Romy,
time.
I will say in your
Hold
defense,
on, let
a
me
lot
see
of
if I can
people
do it.
here
Hold
are
on.
really upset about the fact that you just got banned.
Oh, where did Sean go?
Yeah, Melon Smasher, I agree with you 100%. I think Ladd McConkey is going to be the next Julian Edelman, Cooper Kupp type kind of guy. I think he's going to be a really good player in the NFL. And definitely, if you have a chance in fantasy, especially late third round or late second round, early third round, draft
Kyle,
Ladd McConkey.
I think Justin Herbert is in for a top 5 quarterback season. I think Justin Herbert is going to fucking kill it this year.
Yeah, Dustin, I made a bet on quarterbacks over 4,000 yards. I got Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, and I forgot the last one, but I think Justin Herbert's.
I think Herbert's going
pretty
to
good
eclipse
season.
4,000 very easily. Very easily.
Yep. I agree with you. I think the Chargers offense is going to hum, guys. Any of these teams you guys notice something about all the teams who got really good coaches? They're starting to look good in all
They're getting
facets,
really good.
all 3
Yeah.
phases. All these
Yeah,
teams,
they're getting
Sean
really
Payton
good.
and the Broncos, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. I think the Bears and Ben Johnson are a year behind, but I think they're going to be in that conversation as well. Coaching matters in the NFL more than any other sport.
Trey
Exactly.
Harris, exactly.
Yeah,
I
Trey
mean, now
Harris
you add
is
Trey
the
Harris
man.
to that receiving core. Quentin Johnston went out, but I mean, that guy can't hold
Yeah, but
on.
the fact that you brought Keenan Allen back, Keenan Allen's going to have a
Yeah,
decent
yeah.
season.
I mean,
He's
Justin Herbert is
Mr.
going to be
reliable.
spraying it all over the fucking field, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch him.
Did we touch on the 2 tight end thing enough? You guys feel comfortable with where we're at with that. Colton,
Like I said, man, for a guy who plays the most 12 personnel in the NFL, Ben Johnson's got to be looking his chops. It's going to be really, really fun to watch these two tight ends complement each other. And I think you're going to see Cole Kmet do more of the grunt work, the blocking, and I think Coastal Loveland's going to get most of the praise, but I think they're both going to serve a very meaningful purpose on the Chicago Bears, and I can't wait to watch both. I'm so glad the Bears did not trade Cole Kmet.
Do you guys think that Sean went to get Romy?
He did. That's definitely what he did.
Yeah, we might have to do it after the show. The only members are us.
He comes up.
Shit. Sorry, Romy.
You guys wouldn't believe what it's like in there.
Oh boy.
Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it.
We got to get him out
Brandon
now.
gets it. Brandon gets it. He's in the upside down. Sean, you're weirding me out. Can you reposition yourself where you were? Or I mean, it's just throwing me off. Yeah. Okay, there you go.
We rock Romy.
Idiots.
What are we? Who was your biggest? Listen, me and Brandon. My biggest like stud from that game was Luke Newman. By far, it wasn't even close. He was the guy I was watching the whole game, and that's why I don't agree with your PFF take there, Kyle. Because
it's not my PFF take. It's just a PFF.
I don't agree with it because I watched Luke Newman kick ass that whole game, and I think he will be a starter for this Bears offensive line sooner rather than later, even if it's because of injury. But I do like Jonah Jackson too, so I think this Bears offensive.
Hey, I got Romy back.
Melon, you got
Romy back.
Nice, Brandon. Yeah,
good job, Brandon. Thank you.
I didn't even have to go on the upside down either, Sean. I just did that shit from my chair.
So Luke Newman was my stud of that game, guys.
Ben Johnson. I agree with Melon Smasher.
Melon Smasher throws out Ben Johnson. The look he gave Declan Doyle, guys, when it was like, all right, fine, we'll kneel it down.
Yep. Yeah, Declan Doyle, you could read his. He said, "Are you going to score this touchdown?" And Ben Johnson said, "Absolutely." And Declan Doyle shook his head, was like, "Don't score the touchdown, man." Ben Johnson was like, "Damn it."
Yeah, Ben Johnson was obviously a stud in that game. And like I pointed out earlier, if that's Ben Johnson's vanilla offense, like preseason offense, like, watch the fuck out, guys.
Yeah,
Romy's back. What's up, man?
Calling out.
Yeah, Ryan Bates had a really good game as well, Dante. He did. He played very well yesterday.
I'm back like Jordan.
Really? Yeah, that's a good call out. I like that.
Yeah, Sean, he was
Romy retired for a while.
He was the highest PFF grade, wasn't he?
Who was that?
He had the highest PFF grade.
Ryan Bates.
Yesterday?
Yep. Yeah.
I thought the highest rated was Theo Benedict.
It was Luther Burden, then Cole Kmet, and then it was Ryan Bates.
I thought it was.
I mean, somebody needs to. Sean, throw out Luther Burden as your stud of the game.
Luther Burden was going to be my guy. I was just waiting for it to be. My
Luther Burden's on the list.
Oh, do it. Throw him out there.
I mean, Luther Burden is my guy, man. I was waiting to see what he was going to do when the rock wasn't in his hand. There's been a lot of stuff, as I stated earlier in the show, that this guy had these limitations and tends to zone out. But he was engaged. He was blocking. He was opening up holes.
Yeah, that's all bullshit, man.
He looked really, really good. I am thoroughly impressed
He's
with 87. And I will stand by my statement. I think when it's all said and done, I think Luther Burden's going to be the best receiver on this team. It may not be this year, but by mid-season next year, I don't think there's going to be much doubt.
Real quick, since you're on the conversation, I'll ask you, Vernon, I'll ask Sean. Dustin's back here. The Bears, if they do what they did last year and they keep 6 receivers, who do you guys think the 6th receiver is? Just out of curiosity. Because it looks like, what's his name? Who's the guy yesterday who had the pass from Tyson Bagent where he just flipped it over the defensive line? What's his name?
Maurice Alexander.
Yeah, he's the one playing. He's the first guy in after all the starters.
Tyler Scott
impressed me. I know he
fucked up that kick return.
I know he fucked up that kick return. And
my touchdown was amazing. That touchdown was amazing.
It was. The toe drag.
And he saw his quarterback. And he reacted. He saw his quarterback get out of the pocket, and he started to head the same direction. I mean, it's just smart play. And
Rocket
guys,
Dream says Alexander looks great.
And the short pass he made, and he turned it into like a 30-yard gain earlier in that game.
Has everybody said their player of the game? Is that what?
I mean, that's what Dustin asked.
I just threw it out there. I don't know. I threw
I'll
out.
I'll give another one.
Brandon hasn't given one yet.
You go first, Brandon.
I can't believe I'm doing it, but I'm going to do it.
If you say Ian Wheeler, I'm going to.
There was much to be desired, and I think he needs to progress. Tyson Bagent was my.
That's what I was just going to say, Brandon.
Tyson Bagent played a really quality game of football. He got the
2 weeks in a row.
He got the twos in front of him, and when that offensive line broke down, he extended plays. He moved, and he continued to look downfield. He looked poised. He looked the way a quarterback should in year 3. And I respect Tyson Bagent for that.
For people who PFF agrees with us, or PFF agrees with us, guys. I mean, Colston Melvin, Cole Kmet, Caleb Williams, Ryan Bates, Jordan McFadden, Tyler Scott, Miles Boykin, Zacchaeus, Theo Benedette, Tyson Bagent. Those are your top ranked Bears from that preseason game.
Hold on one second.
Too much about it.
And
I was too busy grinding my absolute face off in the offseason.
Sorry.
Well, and the touchdown to
His
Scott
face is gone.
was a great play. Scott fingertipped it, and he tapped his toes. But that throw.
Is this a new name, guys?
Bagent's window.
No. Swaggy with no legs been here.
Swaggy making no legs. Welcome. Thanks
Although
for being here.
Brian Schlantzler, I haven't seen this one. I don't
know who the safety.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
I don't know who the
seen
safety was.
What's up,
Yeah, he
Brian?
comes down on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hit that like. I don't know who the safety was, but there was a safety closing in between Tyson Bagent and Tyler Scott, and Bagent had a split second to put that ball where it was, and he did, and it was a hard throw. And I thought he played good football, especially when he was under pressure. He definitely looks like the number 2
Bruce,
quarterback.
I agree. Britton Brown looked good.
Would it
And
blow
then-
your guys' mind? Be honest. Would it blow your mind if next year, say a team like, say Tyler Shook sucks, and the Saints ask the Bears?
No, because
Tyler
Spencer
Shuck
Rattler's
does
the
suck.
shit.
Tyler Shuck does suck.
Not
But
look
if-
good this weekend.
Would it
Spencer
blow your
Rattler's the
mind?
man.
Would it blow your mind if the Saints called about Tyson Bagent?
No, and I think there's a part of this where it was mentioned in the chat earlier, like where you want him to look as good as possible because maybe you can get something decent in return in a trade. But I just personally think like Bagent has established himself as a guy that you can keep on the cheap as a solid backup, and he's got more athletic ability than your typical backup as well in terms of running the football.
Yeah, that's
and
what
making
impressed me yesterday.
improvisational plays. Like, so I mean, Tyson is a solid guy to have as your backup, and I haven't been sold on him, but these last 2 weeks I'm really coming around on and how he's running this offense, man. And I feel comfortable with him. If you can get a 3rd round pick offered for Tyson Bagent, do you take it?
Yeah.
Kyle? I take it.
Yeah.
But I love what he's doing right now for this Bears team, and he's clearly the backup. We had a conversation a few weeks ago about is it Case Keenum or is it Tyson Bagent? It's never been anybody but Tyson Bagent.
Bagent's ceiling is higher than Case Keenum at 37 years
100%.
old. Melon
But-
Smasher, not to call you out, man,
but Keenum's going to be on
you
this
said a lot of
football team.
complimentary thing about the Bears, and you haven't said
For him.
Caleb Williams' name once. Are you a Caleb Williams fan all of a sudden, Melon Smasher? Are you a believer? Because you've been harder on that guy than anybody in the chat, and I haven't seen his name in any of your comments today. Pretty good showing from the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears yesterday, now, wasn't it?
How about Charles Klausner?
Yeah, he's usually like all about the Caleb shit, ain't he?
Charles Clauser, thanks for joining the show, man.
Charles Clauser.
He says, I never talk here, but I always listen to you guys. And I thought I was
I
subscribed,
feel-
but I wasn't. But I am now. Thanks a lot, Charles. We
Thanks a
appreciate
lot,
it.
Charles, man.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks for joining us. Hit that like if you can for us. But Dustin,
appreciate
I feel, and you knew where I stood. You guys all know where I stood.
Howser.
I feel better about the Bears' backup quarterback situation this year. Far better than I did.
Solo
last
mock draft for the
I thought last-
2026 draft. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
year. Yeah. I thought it's like the 3rd time you've apologized to me. I thought
I'll stop apologizing.
I thought the backup quarterback situation was shit last year.
Yeah.
I think because of Tyson Bagent's improvement, I think the backup quarterback situation in Chicago is much better than it was. Like I said, somebody did a ranking. They were like 17th. They might actually be a little higher than that.
I mean, but
Listen, we were
he went
concerned.
2-2
We were
the year
concerned
he
about this.
started. I mean,
This is important.
That's what you're
Guys,
supposed to do.
This topic is important, and how Tyson Bagent acquits himself within this offense is important because we have legitimate concerns about our backup quarterback situation. We have had them for the last year, leading into this preseason. We had them. We all talked about it. Bagent is alleviating those concerns, and that makes me happy. I enjoy that. Thank you, Tyson Bagent.
Yeah,
Good
and he's
job.
now-
keep it up.
And he's now made 2 veteran quarterbacks his backup. So, and that's on hard work and the way he's looked and the way he's improved and progressed. I mean, Case Keenum was probably brought here to be the number 2. Dustin, I know you said the Bagent from the get-go. Ben Johnson's never worked with Tyson Bagent. He brought Keenum in,
But he loves him. He loves
the
Bagent.
Bagent's his number 2 now.
Oh,
And then
Jesus
last
Christ.
year, Ryan Poles gave PJ Walker $2 million, and Bagent
That was
showed out.
$3 million. I think it was
No,
$3
it
million.
Sorry, 2 years ago.
3.5, 3.8.
And Bagent
Yeah,
showed out enough to put
that's a lot.
to get that guy,
got 18.
and he showed out enough to get that guy cut. I mean, so this dude has continued to rise against the challenges that are in front of him for sure.
I like Tyson Bagent a lot. I mean, you think back to just so recent memory when the Bears gave Mike Glennon $18 million, Andy Dalton $10 million.
Fucking
Tyson
giraffe
Bagent's
neck
better
Glennon.
than Tyson Bagent's better than both of them. I would take him over both of them in a heartbeat. And he cost us like $725,000 a year. Like,
It's going to
Tyson
cost you
Bagent-
more. It's going to cost you more if you want to keep him. So
the Bears,
he's undrafted
the
free
Bears,
agent, so he's
the
he's
Bears
league minimum.
backup situation is
yeah, but when
better.
you re-sign them on a second deal, if you keep him,
Yeah, unless
that
he's
will cost
traded,
you.
I think there's a chance that he might get traded.
The Bears
honestly
backup
believe that
situation
he
is
can
better
get
than the Colts starting situation. That's how I feel about that now.
100%. 100%. The Colts would.
I don't know
think
about 100%, but like, yeah, Bagent would be in the competition with those two guys.
Yeah, with Daniel
for the
Jones
starting
and Anthony Richardson.
Richardson
I think
is,
he'd have a head
is
up
just
the
awful.
in the
Richardson is awful.
awful.
He's awful. He's awful in camp, by the way.
Absolute garbage. That guy should not be playing in the NFL. You guys, he averaged like 8 completions a game
Did
over 7 starts last year. He's awful.
you
Terrible.
guys see our quarterback rankings we did on Thursday, by the way? I'm just curious. Did you guys see? We went through and ranked all the quarterbacks worst to first.
I did not get a chance to watch the show this week. I've been a very
it's okay.
busy.
It's a good one. You guys should go check
Last
it out.
week.
We had a lot of fun. Things of note. We had Justin Fields listed 29. we had
Shocker.
JJ McCarthy listed 28.
You're talking about fantasy, right? You're talking about
just quarterbacks. There was not a fantasy ranking.
Where'd you guys have Baker Mayfield?
We had Baker Mayfield sixth.
Yep.
Sixth. I wanted to put him
Oh,
fifth
man.
over Jalen Hurts. I
telling you,
wanted
man,
to
you
put him fifth.
Everybody out there, you don't get one of those top quarterbacks in fantasy. Keep your eye on Baker Mayfield in the 6th, 7th, 8th round because that guy is going to
He's
put
a
up
fucking stud.
insane numbers.
And we had Caleb at 12. We had Caleb at 12.
That's a good spot for him based off of what he's done in the league and projections.
Here we go.
pretty high.
Here comes Andrew. Here comes.
I think you guys are fools if you think
TV
that
17 is here. Oh, we're about to be.
if you think that Justin Fields, when it comes to fantasy,
Oh,
is the
God.
29th.
I don't wanna
best
die.
It
quarterback.
wasn't a fantasy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about fantasy.
No,
It
he's
was
talking
not a
about NFL
fantasy
promotion.
ranking.
No, it was just strictly
winning
the play. The
quarterback
player.
play.
Who'd you guys have in Justin Fields?
It was the whoever the Browns quarterback is.
Tyler
Shuck. Tyler Suck. And it was
The
who was third?
Browns.
No, we had the Browns, and then it was the Colts. It was Anthony
Yeah, the
Richardson
Colts,
or
yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, the two teams that don't have a quarterback. The Browns and the Colts got to be down there for sure.
And then it
But
was
I think Tyler
Russell
Shuck.
Wilson.
Tyler Shuck is
TJ
below
McCarthy?
a team that doesn't actually have a starter. So that's what we think about Tyler
What'd you
Shuck.
TJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy was 28.
28th.
28. Right below Fields. And then right after that it was Russell Wilson and
And we
Aaron
had
Rodgers.
Cam Ward like 19 or some ridiculous.
No, we had
Yeah.
Cam Ward.
You'd rather have Justin Fields than Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you think? I don't know. I mean, we had the Steelers wouldn't have rather had Justin Fields than Russell Wilson just last year. So
I mean,
we had
Russell-
Cam Ward pretty
we
high.
had Cam Ward. We had
Fields
Cam
had
Ward
three.
at 23, guys. We had Cam Ward at 23, which is a solid.
I
spot
think
for him,
Justin
think.
Fields is going to be exciting. He's going to make big plays, but yeah, I don't think that he's going to make that team good.
No, of course not.
I've had this conversation with Sean. I think he's still going to have 900 yards rushing and
Oh,
8
they're gonna
rushing
run him
touchdowns.
a lot because he can't
2,500
throw the ball.
Yeah,
They're going to run him an awful lot. He's
Yeah,
not
Sean,
that good at the
you guys
whole
watch-
throwing the football thing.
If you guys watch Barely There, Sean and I got him on FanDuel at 649.5 rushing yards over and under.
Nice. What's the
649
odds?
and a half.
What's the odds? What's the odds?
I'm with you,
Yeah.
Swaggy.
Sean, what's the odds? Plus 110?
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't remember off the top
Okay,
of my
I'm
still
sorry.
go
Fields is not a top 5 fantasy quarterback either. No fucking way.
No, not
No way. No
No.
way. Not top 5.
Definitely.
You could say top 12, and I'll entertain that conversation. Top 5 is
Yeah, rostered, sure.
too rich
Top
for my
5,
blood.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
What up, Joe? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show, brother.
Jed.
Jed. Thank
There
you.
he is.
Jed likes our list. 29, Justin Fields, and we had the Jets at 29 on the overall power.
I mean,
rankings.
I won't disagree
I
with
thought that was good synergy.
I won't disagree with Justin Fields at 29 if you're talking about not fantasy. If you're talking about just regular season
Fuck the Jets.
wins.
That team's gonna be bad. And anybody who listen, I like Aaron Glenn. I like Aaron Glenn. That
I do too.
team's still gonna be bad.
I don't.
Really?
Aaron Glenn had 6 good games in Detroit, but it's outside of that, his defense was one of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, but
I
he
think
helped
all of a
develop
sudden
a lot
everybody
of
loves
those
them.
players that are the studs they are today, man. I mean,
I wasn't trying to derail the conversation. I thought it was interesting though that Caleb Williams came in at 12. I mean, I think that's pretty high for what.
Yeah, but
Caleb
his
Williams
ceiling
has
is
done.
higher.
Right. Like he could jump into that top 10 if you
for
saw what we saw last night and how he performed within that offense. This was
And
our
he was
biggest
playing
concern.
soft, man.
Get
Right,
rid
Sean,
of the ball.
I'm going to
Get
start
rid
an
of the ball.
argument. I'm going to start an argument here just for the hell
shit.
of it. Who was ranked higher, guys? Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Josh Allen.
All right.
It was Josh Allen number one.
Sean was so ready. I saw
it was Josh Allen number one, Lamar Jackson number two, Joe Burrow number three, Patrick Mahomes number four. Hurts was the five. I thought Baker Mayfield should have been five.
Number four?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the guys won 3 Super Bowls.
We were proud of that decision.
Yeah, I know.
Won 3 Super Bowls, guys.
It was more about the quarterback to start this season with, basically. Like who do you want your quarterback?
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over everybody. Maybe him and Josh Allen's a conversation.
You're taking Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen to run this regular season.
I said him and Josh Allen's a conversation, but I'm taking the guy with the most Super Bowls.
Yeah, but those are in the past.
Taking a guy with 40 plus touchdowns 5 years in a row.
You guys, let me ask you a question. Do you think Patrick Mahomes wins another Super Bowl before he retires?
I think the odds are against it, but he's a damn good player and a fucking winner, so he finds ways to get it done.
And his coach is probably the best in the league.
Guys, I love Patrick Mahomes. Kyle, I love Patrick Mahomes. It was really hard for me to do that, but if you do that exercise yourself, you'll find like you can interchange those top four guys pretty easily.
I also think,
besides Lamar Jackson, because you guys don't.
I also said on the show, Kyle. I said on the show,
you guys. I have nothing against Lamar Jackson.
I said on the show,
I just would rather have Josh Allen in the playoffs. That's all.
It's a tough exercise. It's a tough.
I wanted Joe Burrow number one because I think Joe Burrow's about to throw 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
So do I. He's my MVP. I picked him as MVP. I already bet it.
I think those top four guys, though, like you guys said on your show, you said on your show too, the top four guys, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes are interchangeable. You can make an argument. You can put them where you want and defend that case to somebody, and you could convince them of the truth.
And you can change the criteria of how you're ranking.
Josh Allen
changes it too.
In terms of individual success, I think Josh Allen means more to his team than anybody else in the NFL. So I'm okay with you guys putting him number one. I just don't see how Patrick Mahomes falls to 4 when he's got 3 Super Bowls before he's 30 years old.
I texted you guys last night. If Josh Allen misses any time, this Bills team is fucked. That Bills team does not have it without Josh Allen. He's clearly the most important player to his team, I think, in the NFL. He carries this team. So I mean, Josh Allen is that guy to me. And I just think, Sean, you tell me what you think of this. I think that if you took Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and you interchanged them on an equally talented team, Josh Allen is going to elevate that team more at this point in his career.
That's fair. Yeah. Mahomes has had much better defenses.
If you put Josh Allen on the Chiefs, he has 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So and that's kind of where the conversation goes. And it's like, if you were starting a team this year and you needed a quarterback to run a regular season with, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is getting taken over.
I like you guys.
Josh Allen or
from what I've heard of your list, I like you guys. I'm not hating. I was just asking.
Go check it out. It was a fun segment.
We had Jaden Daniels top 10. That would have killed you.
Keep talking about you guys. Nobody on this podcast ever said they don't like Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix a lot. I think he's going to be a very good player in the NFL, especially.
We had him 14. We had him 14.
Bo Nix. He could be. He was a top 10 fantasy quarterback last year. He could do.
Where we have Jaden Daniels, Dustin. It was
number 8. Number 8.
Yeah, no thanks.
I mean, he earned it. He earned it with his performance last year, guys. I mean, I know
you said going into this year.
Yeah. And going into this year, I would still expect him to be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL. A guy who stresses the defense no matter what he does, whether he throws or runs. So.
He's also a guy, one of the quarterback in the NFL. It's most dangerous if he gets hit.
No doubt. But he did a pretty good job of staying healthy last year, and
he's a stud.
Did a really good job of avoiding hits.
Bo Nix is also a stud.
Sean,
by the way,
Sean, give us something here, man. Give us some
swaggy.
Yeah, Sean.
Bo Nix is going to have a great year.
Huh?
Sean doesn't want to go down the rabbit hole.
Quarterback conversation.
Why not?
Well, Sean, they agree with you. They said Josh Allen number 1. You can't be.
Sean.
What's there to be upset about?
Awesome. That's fantastic.
He's still upset about Fields being at 29. He's still upset about that.
No, Fields.
No, he's upset that you guys refuse to accept the fact that Lamar Jackson just doesn't play his best football in the playoffs.
No, Sean's mad that Jaden Daniels.
We're all guessing what Sean's mad about now.
It's Jaden Daniels. You guys are idiots. It's Jaden Daniels. That's why he doesn't want to talk. It's Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is going to disappoint a lot of people.
Told you.
I agree.
That's what it was.
That was the Washington Redskins.
I agree with you, Sean. 100%.
Hey, listen. Look, that's why.
Commanders are. I don't know. I don't think the Commanders are going to make the playoffs.
Listen. I'm 100% almost positive they're not.
On this list,
is terrible beyond.
Yeah, which is why Jaden Daniels is going to need to carry that team.
And Debo Samuel's not that good. They act like they just got Jerry Rice.
They don't have.
He's not
Here,
that good.
I got a question.
He's not that good, guys.
Debo
Daniels-
Samuel is going to have a good season.
Jaden Daniels is going to look
If
a
he
lot
stays
like
healthy,
Justin Fields.
he
Yes,
hasn't
if
stayed
he
healthy
stays
in
healthy,
8
just like
years.
everybody else. Yes.
Yeah,
Jaden
but
Daniels
he's
is going
got
to look a
injury
lot like
past.
Justin Fields, my friend. No weapons to throw to, and he's going to be running for his fucking life.
Terry
Terry
McLaurin, and Debo
McLaurin,
Samuel
what is
are
he,
gonna be
31?
good
Terry,
weapons for him.
I guarantee you Debo's going to miss his 4 to 6 games he misses every
Oh,
year
for
because the
sure.
guy
No
can't
doubt
stay
about
healthy because he's
No doubt
fat
about
and out of shape. Then you got Zach Ertz with
You
an
know that
AARP.
Debo
He
has
needs an
led the
AARP
league
card.
for 5 years straight in yards after catch average, right?
Yeah,
You think
5
the-
years straight.
Yeah, you
How's
think
the
the
last
Commanders
couple years
needed
go?
somebody
Dustin,
like that?
How's the last couple of years go?
Justin, where do you rank
He still led the league in yards after
Where-
catch average
Justin,
the
where do
last
you-
couple of years.
where do you
The
rank
last 5 years.
outside of the
Very
quarterback?
limited time.
Outside of the quarterback, Dustin, where do you rank the Washington Commanders' offensive room?
The-
Running
the
backs, tight ends, wide receivers.
Listen, I think Jaden Daniels clearly elevated that team last year. That's why people were so enamored with the season he had, because there wasn't a lot of talent around him, and there's still not. But when you add a left tackle in Laramie Tunsil and you add Debo Samuel across from Terry McLaurin, now you actually have another guy that can take attention away from your number one guy. That is clearly a better situation than it was last year.
Well, you
The
guys heard
offensive
here
line
first.
got
Justin's
better.
not
They
a
and the
drafted
weapons
some
got
young
better.
talented players
Justin's
on the
not a
offensive
fan of
side.
Zacchaeus.
Listen, no, Zacchaeus is not that guy.
I'm
If Zacchaeus was
kidding,
our
dude.
number 2 receiver, would you
kidding,
be
dude.
excited about
It's
that?
a joke, bro.
No, I know.
Joke.
Would you be excited about that, Kyle? If
No, I would
Zacchaeus
not
was the
be
number 2
excited about
receiver
it.
for this team?
Real quick, what you guys
Come on
want
now.
to? You guys, real quick. What do you think of? I know there wasn't much to watch. But
You're
what do
right,
you think,
Raz.
what do you think of the performance of Rome Odunze on Sunday?
He had that drop. That's a problem. I want him to catch that ball on that out that Caleb threw. But I mean, Rome.
Yeah, that would have moved the chains. That hurt.
Rome is.
I feel like Rome was used as like a disguise.
decoy.
Yeah, a decoy.
Yeah,
Like that's not
yeah.
going to help the Bears. He shouldn't be a decoy.
I
He should
think
be
that's going to
catching
vary.
passes.
I think it's going to vary so much week to week because you guys have already mentioned how many weapons there are on this team. Who that decoy is going to change week to week based on
Yeah,
the
but-
strengths or
but
weeknesses
Rome-
of the defense they're playing, man.
I think
Rome is
has a
gonna
higher
get off all
ceiling than
season.
everybody but Burden. If you looked at the ceilings of Loveland and Komet and DJ Moore and Zacchaeus and
I
Rome,
think he has
and
the
Burden,
same ceiling as Burden. I think they
Yeah.
both have very high
I mean,
fucking
different skill
ceilings.
sets for sure. Totally different skill sets. But
Rome should have the highest ceiling of all those guys.
because where he was drafted.
Yeah,
Well, no, because of it,
and because of the way. Listen,
because
he
of
was
his skill
drafted.
set.
He
Because
was
of his skill
drafted
set.
third in one of the.
Hey, Dustin?
We can talk about We can talk about that quarterback
Debo-
class from last
Debo
year.
was in the top 25 in yards after catch last year, too.
Average, not
Average.
yards after catch.
You know who
total.
number 1 was? Jamar
Average.
Chase. He was not even top 25. I'm looking
Jamar-
at it right now.
We
Yards
talked
after
about
catch average or yards after catch total?
Yards after catch average. Jamar Chase, followed by A-Chain, followed by Shakur, followed by Bowers, followed by Gibbs, followed by DJ Moore, Brian Thomas Jr., Alvin
Okay,
Kamara,
so then 4 out of the
Steve
last
Lamb,
5
Bijan
years. Sean.
Robinson, Bucky
Okay.
Irvin.
Okay, so 4 out of the last 5 years.
Yeah, but I mean-
I just hate to tell you this.
has
7
done
of his
that.
last 8 games, he had 1 game over 40 yards receiving.
Kyle,
For sure,
Kyle,
but
we can-
Debo
he's
sucks.
still a good player.
He's
Kyle, we
washed.
can-
Watch, you're gonna
why
look back
did
on this
Tom, why did the
conversation.
Commanders trigger
I'm
you?
fine with it.
You're gonna
He's
look back on
washed.
this conversation. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just telling you. I think that the Commanders
Well, I
got
mean, the
better
Commanders,
offensively.
you guys, the Commanders are getting the worst of Debo Samuel. There's no doubting. He's
Absolutely.
only getting older. He's
Okay,
only
but
getting
it's
older.
better than what they had last year.
Sure, but it is going to be the
100%
worst
better
of
than
Debo
what they had
Samuel.
last
Wait a
year.
minute.
You're
Did they
gonna
have
see a lot of-
Zacchaeus?
Debo Samuel.
We
Or
already,
is he on
we
the
already talked
Eagles?
about this.
Debo
Zacchaeus
Samuel has
Was there last
one.
year.
Debo Samuel has 1 carry tonight for 20 yards.
Awesome.
Okay.
Playing third
Listen,
stringers?
Debo is going to bring an element to that offense that they didn't have last year. It's going to help a young quarterback. It just is. He'll be a reliable target for a young quarterback. They needed that. That was a smart move by them. They needed better protection for their quarterback, and they went and got a
You know what
stud
San
left
Francisco
tackle.
said? Here, take our garbage. We got Ricky.
Oh, no, for
Pierce.
sure. San Fran needed to move on from him. They couldn't pay him. They just overpaid Brandon Ayuk. San
Well,
Fran
that's
made a
what-
bad decision in paying Ayuk.
We always stray so far from the actual topic. You guys, me and Dustin,
It is-
Jaden
the
Daniels
conversation
was
is
gonna.
what it is.
We think
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels was ranked number 8. That's where we put him on the list. You guys don't like the Commanders. You don't like Jaden Daniels having a good year. That's what it is. What it is.
I didn't say Daniels wasn't going to have a good year. I said I think his expectations that he set last year are going to be lowered this year because I don't think
Well,
Washington.
okay, so if he regresses, that means nothing. He could still be a phenomenal player because he was a phenomenal
Sure.
player last season.
sure if
but-
he doesn't get hurt.
But Kyle, you asked me why I think Rome should have the highest ceiling of all the players on this roster. And it's not just because of where he was drafted. I think this quarterback class that everybody's going to talk about for the next 10 years with Bo Nix and Drake May and Caleb Williams and Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels, last year's wide receiver class might have been just as good. And Rome Odunze was selected 9th in a class with Brian Thomas Jr., Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors. I mean, so this is going to be one of the best wide receiver classes we talk about in the future too, guys. And I think Rome Odunze was at least a top 2 player. I thought Malik Neighbors was the best. I thought that before the draft. I thought Rome Odunze was better than Marvin Harrison. I thought Brian Thomas was better than Marvin Harrison. But I think Rome Odunze has the ability to be a 15. I texted this to Dustin this week. A 1,500 yard, 10 to 12 touchdown guy.
Yeah, I think that's CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson in that conversation. But I mean, Brennan,
regardless of where he was drafted, you got to look at why he was drafted that high, guys. It's his skill set, Kyle. It's his ability to win
1,600-yard season,
and that skill set lends itself to those stats we put up. You see him getting open all the time. You see him high pointing the ball and winning contested catches.
And he can run routes.
Set is extremely,
and he can run routes really clean.
It's variant and it's very good. He can do all kinds.
I know. I started the conversation with I don't like the fact that Rome Odunze was a decoy last night. I think he's the guy that should be getting the ball a lot.
But I just think that's going to vary with this offense from week to week,
sure.
right?
Sure.
In terms
that
of
was your answer. I agree with
who's getting involved. But
yeah.
Rome will be the most consistent receiver on this team this year, in my mind, just because of that skill set that I
think weeks 1 through 8 will probably be DJ, and you could see that they're trying to force the ball into DJ Moore's hands. He's going to do the screen passes and the end rounds.
Getting the ball in his hands is a good idea.
Yeah, but by the end of the season, I agree with you. I said this to Sean. Rome Odunze by the end of the season will be the Bears' best receiver. When you
I think DJ Moore is a really phenomenal utility player.
100%.
And I think he's dependable, reliable, and you can do anything you want with him. I think Rome Odunze is a better wide receiver. I think Rome Odunze. I think Rome Odunze will have a better statistical career than DJ Moore has to this point.
I agree with
what
that.
It always comes back
I
to
love
me,
them both.
What it always comes back to me is, if we're having this conversation as Bears fans about who's going to be the better receiver, Rome or DJ, like that's a damn good conversation to be having because they're both very talented players. Rome is on the come up. DJ is an established guy. They both bring different elements to this offense. And Caleb is going to, as Sean said earlier, Caleb is going to just be dispensing this ball all over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. This is a good problem to have, guys.
Yes, and to that point, real quick, I want to say something because I wanted to say this earlier in the show. And I'm not talking to any of you guys in particular, so you don't have to defend yourselves, right?
I'm already pissed, Kyle. Let's go.
Everybody in the chat and everybody on Facebook and Twitter and everything else over the last few years who have absolutely destroyed Ryan Poles and asked for his head and begged him to be kicked out of Chicago. This team looks to me like they are more primed for a Super Bowl run than any time in my Chicago Bears fandom life, and a lot of that credit has to be given to Ryan Poles. And yes, should he be held accountable for his mistakes? Of course, everybody should. But at the end of the day, all you heard Greg Olsen say it 1,000 times on the podcast or on the broadcast last night. 1,000 times he said,
"Kyle, you son of a bitch."
He said 1,000 times he said, "Ryan Poles has built this team.
He put this team together.
Man. He got Ben Johnson here. Listen, I'm just saying, for all the hype and all the excitement surrounding the Chicago Bears, big chunk of that is due in part to Ryan Poles."
I'm done saying anything about Poles until I see victories on the field, man. Listen, we're talking about Trapillo being a possible bust, and we're talking about 3 left tackles.
I think you just misinterpreted what Kyle said, Melon Smasher. But
I think Ryan Poles, I need to see results. I can't dictate what he's done is good or bad until this team's winning football games because we thought a whole lot of good last year, and it didn't result in wins. And he's stuck with a coach that couldn't run it.
I believe that Ryan Poles will be the next manager GM to win a Super Bowl for the Chicago Bears. That's what I believe. And if he does that, I have no complaints. I don't care how he did it. I don't care what got him here. I don't care how much he missed on. If he wins the Super Bowl, that's the goal. They accomplished the goal. That's the goal I have as a fan. They accomplished it for me.
Kyle, you're not saying the Bears are going to win a Super Bowl, right? Because the chat is responding.
Not this year, no.
Yeah,
no. I'm saying with Caleb Williams, with you guys heard Greg Olsen say it on the broadcast last night.
No, he said prime for a Super Bowl run, as in the pieces, the GM, the head coach, the quarterback, the future.
He said the 3 most important positions.
Greg Olsen talked about it on the Greg Olsen talked about it on the broadcast last night. They
Yes.
for the first time ever, they have that stability at the three most important positions in football.
Yes.
And then
Greg Olsen said a lot of smart things last night.
throw Kevin Warren into that conversation too, because he is a big part of this as well. The Bears have more stability from top to bottom than we have seen in a long time, and that's where you start building towards a Super Bowl, Kyle. Yes, 100%.
Yes.
And yes, Brandon,
Ryan
Greg
Poles is
Olsen
gonna be an integral
getting
part of
replaced by Tom Brady was kind of a travesty, I thought. Just with Tom Brady
Dude, real
last
quick.
year taking Greg Olsen's spot after Greg Olsen had just done a Super Bowl was a little.
Did you guys watch the pregame?
Greg Olsen's good.
Did you guys watch the pregame?
I watched some of it. Yeah, what's up?
Julian
did.
Edelman was horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
What's
he
up with
sucks.
him? Yeah.
And
What's
his
the deal?
shoes, his shoes were terrible too. I hated his
He
shoes.
says,
They
what's
did a
for-
close-up
well,
of his shoes.
He
Well,
says,
for
"What's
a
2
guy-
minus 70? What's 2 minus 70?" And the dude he's talking to is like, "What are you talking
Negative
about?"
68.
And he's like, I mean 70 minus 2, because that's how many times Caleb got sacked last year. Like, dude,
Well, and
you
he's
had,
just
that was your
starting in
first
there.
sentence.
a guy who
You
spent his
planned
whole
that.
life, in front of a camera and on the spotlight is really timid on camera. That's the first thing I thought is this guy is nervous as hell to be.
Well, it's
doing
his first
this right
time on
now.
like a national
Yeah,
broadcast.
listen, I'm not saying it's
though,
not
I
going to
think,
get better.
in
I'm
that
just saying
scenario.
last
That
night he
guy's
was
been in front of
terrible.
rooms
He was
full of people. That
terrible.
guy's been in front of
Who's that?
televisions. That guy's been in
Who's
front of
that?
cameras. That guy's been in front of everything. It's a surprise to see
But
he
Dustin's right.
failed.
Guys, Greg
He
Olsen
failed,
should
Kyle.
be the guy. He's the best.
Mhm.
He's amazing.
I think
But-
Tom Brady is going to be
what's-
really good this year, but last year they should have made him earn it and work his
But
way up instead of.
I don't
giving
think
him the top
he
spot.
can't do it anymore. I thought.
No, yeah, Tom Brady. He's
I
the
thought,
number one.
I thought
no.
they made
No, they
something.
no with the
Oh,
Raiders.
that's
thing?
in the
No.
works, man.
No, he
That's
can't.
in the works.
No, he can't do preseason or pregame locker room interviews
Yeah, but he's going to be doing.
Tom
No,
Brady's
Brady.
involved with a team.
because he's an owner of a
part
team.
ownership.
He's
Yeah.
no longer allowed to do interviews because
Guys,
they said he was
can't
sitting
perform
down.
without Brady
This
around.
Kyle,
They said he
I
was
think
talking to Ben Johnson off the cameras about coming to Vegas.
we went through the timeline of Ryan Poles, and I think he's done just as much bad as he's done good, or I should
So-
say, good as bad.
It's a very scattered resume right now.
but I
for
but I also think
Results.
there's none of the good has resulted into wins, and some of the bad has clearly resulted in losses. I need
That's got
to
to change
see
this year.
this
Yeah.
guy
We'll readdress
rewrite the script.
in a couple
And
of-
and listen, the drafting of Caleb Williams and the trade to the Panthers for the first overall pick, I mean, historical.
Damn, that's a little heavy.
The retaining of Matt Eberflus and the trading Justin Fields for less to
But
please
Brennan,
him.
every time we have these conversations,
This guy always
Yeah.
seems to
Here's-
contradict
if he was
himself. We're
waiting on
doing
Ben
something
Johnson,
bad.
if the truth is he was waiting on Ben Johnson, if that's the truth, because that's rumors have come out that were like, hey, the only reason he retained Matt Eberflus because he was waiting on Ben Johnson. If that's the truth, that's the best fucking movie he ever made in his entire life. Ever in his entire life.
Relentless Mikey
In terms
says
of-
he needs
in
to
terms of
never
his-
draft O-line again. Listen,
Except
I'm just
Cal,
saying, even now, through all the good, there are some major flaws shining through when it comes to
Everybody
Ryan.
has flaws.
Kyle, that makes sense though, except for when you think about the fact that if you would put yourself on the open market, maybe Ben Johnson would have come last year.
No,
You know,
they
but-
announced that he announced to all the teams that
Yeah,
were looking at
that-
him last
that
year that he wants to stay one more year. That's
he
Ryan
did.
Poles-
I understand, but if Caleb Williams was that guy to him, then maybe that changes. But you didn't make yourself available. And had you made yourself available and missed out on Ben Johnson, then yeah, I understand what you're saying. But that's a long game move, and you're playing with a lot of people's money and
drafted
a
Caleb
lot
Williams?
of people's, Sundays when you
keep
make
saying,
that
wait, Caleb
kind of
Williams is the one who got Ben Johnson here. Who drafted Caleb Williams? Ryan Poles.
Yes.
He could have drafted Jaden Daniels. He could have drafted Bo Nix. He could have traded back. He could have acquired a haul like Sean wanted. He didn't. He drafted Caleb Williams. And Ben Johnson's here because of Caleb Williams.
And Ryan Poles' career will live or die on the back of Caleb Williams.
Well, listen, it starts now,
Yeah.
Brandon. It
Yeah,
starts
he-
now. Yeah,
Yeah,
listen, everything, Sean, and I think you'll probably agree with everything that's happened up to this point has led to this point. Ryan Poles' good moves, his bad moves, they have all made this team that we're looking at now that is under this coach that we all said we wanted and we think is that guy. So, like, Ryan Poles got us here. That's what Kyle's saying. Like,
Right.
He
And I'm saying,
signed Ben Johnson.
before I dictate
So if
that
this
it's a
thing turns
good
around,
draft,
And drafted Roma Dunze and drafted
And
Lucas
Ryan
Vernon.
Poles gets all the credit. Ryan Poles gets all the fucking credit, doesn't he?
He
I
should.
think Ian Cunningham should get a lot.
Yeah, obviously you got
Yeah,
your
but Ryan
saying in the
Poles brought
national
him
media.
in. Ryan
like
Poles
that.
brought Ian Cunningham
well,
here.
Ryan Poles
Yes,
should
he's hired.
certainly
Yes, he's hired.
consume the credit, because if this team fails, Ryan Poles is the first guy on the listen. this team is aligned. They are aligned, but they still have room for that not my guy conversation, right? Ben Johnson didn't draft Caleb Williams. Ryan Poles drafted Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams isn't the future franchise quarterback the Bears expect him to be, Ryan Poles is out.
Yes, and Ben
There's
Johnson
no
stayed.
doubt about it.
And Ben
So
Johnson
listen,
stayed.
Ryan Poles has done a lot of good. He's done a lot of bad. He's put this team together the way it is now. It looks good. I have to see this team win.
Okay.
I feel like we've had this conversation
You're gonna come on the podcast
100 times. I feel like
Ryan
we've had
Poles
this
is good.
conversation. Yeah, for sure. But we've had this conversation 100 times. It's not going to matter until we start seeing the results.
Well, yeah, but you can't just say Ryan Poles is a good GM and then look at his record.
You can't just say he's a bad GM either.
No, I didn't.
That's the point.
I said we have to see it.
There's people in the chat saying that, Brett.
Okay, but my point is
somewhere in the middle right now.
Easy, Mikey.
If the guy's done a bunch
joining.
of good in his career, there's no result of that. And that is how you judge Ryan Poles today.
It judges off of wins and losses. We've been saying that for the last year.
But I also think that overlooking the importance of Ian Cunningham and where Ian Cunningham came from, a winning organization with a winning GM like the Baltimore Ravens, a winning organization under Howie
Philadelphia
Roseman.
Eagles. Yeah.
Yes, this guy probably has as much, if not more, to do with this success, because when you go back and you look at those film rooms, Ryan Poles is leaning on Ian Cunningham a lot. And I can tell you this, when he was looking for that GM job, I guarantee you Ryan Poles was shitting his pants. Because that
Sean,
guy being his right-hand man is hugely important.
You're saying credit should be taken away from Ryan Poles because he surrounded himself with smart people. That's a good fucking move to make as a GM.
That's what Ben Johnson did with his coaching
job.
That's
good
what
job.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Surrounding yourself with smart people.
I'll tell you this right now, and I don't care. Beat me up, say whatever the hell you want. Take Ian Cunningham away from Ryan Poles. I don't know if this roster looks this way.
Well, I don't think
that's all I'll say.
Well, it's obviously
Ryan Poles has learned on the job. We've talked about this. He's failed.
Well, listen, in any business, your manager and your assistant manager, they're obviously both important to the business. They need to have a good collaborative effort and work well together in order to get the best results possible. So, yeah, that makes total sense.
What's up, Rocket Dream? Rocket Dream asks.
We're not going to go as far as to say Ian Cunningham should be the GM over Ryan Poles, are we? Ryan Poles is the guy that brought Ian Cunningham
We're
here.
going to find out when Ian Cunningham is gone.
Well, but Sean, who's to say he can't replace Ian Cunningham with another smart guy? Obviously, he's very good at hiring assistant GMs, right?
We'll find out.
Rocket Dream
I am
asks,
with Brandon here. I'm not ready to anoint anything to him yet.
Yeah, we got to see it.
Guys,
we got to see it. There's no other way to look at this conversation.
I'm going out on a limb here, then I guess, and I'm saying I think Ryan Poles going to Super Bowl. He wins the Super Bowl. He's the best GM in my lifetime because no other GM won a fucking Super Bowl. No other GM did it.
All I'm saying is you guys are glorifying Ryan Poles as if he did this on his own, and you're ignoring Ian Cunningham. Ian Cunningham, yes, you just fucking did. You literally just Ryan Poles is going to win this here. Ian Cunningham, I'm saying, has as much input here.
Sean,
and Ryan Poles needs
name the whole staff.
Yeah,
I can't name the whole staff.
Cunningham. Who
gets Ryan Poles' coffee every morning? I want to thank that.
He's not leaning anybody else.
Sean, he brought him here too.
Ian Cunningham is not going to be on this team.
He did that. He did that.
Hold on. I want to answer this question.
Super Bowl probably before Ryan
Rocket
Poles.
Dream says, "What if he's not? But the team is."
Deserves credit for hiring.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah, if the team is good, Ryan Poles did a good job. I think that those two things are
no. He's asking, what if Caleb Williams is not good, but the Bears team is good?
Okay, that's not very clear here. We've been talking about 20 fucking things. So
this comment's been up there for a while. It's not what I don't think that works. I don't think Ryan Poles retains his job if Caleb Williams fails. I don't. Even if the rest of the team he's put together is a quality team, you got it wrong again. I don't see.
Illinois Jones says, "What good has Ryan Poles done?" And then Razzle Dazzle says he has not drafted a Pro Bowler.
And can he possibly stick around if Caleb Williams?
I care about wins, Kyle, and his record.
That's fine. And the more wins you get, the easier it is to make a Pro Bowl. But Jalen Johnson should have made the Pro Bowl. And I know he didn't draft him. I'm not saying he did. I'm saying, but Jalen Johnson should have made the Pro Bowl 2 years ago when he was the best corner in football, and he didn't.
If he's a franchise quarterback,
fuck the popularity contest. I don't watch that shit. You guys don't watch that shit. Razzle doesn't watch that shit. You know why? Because
But
it's a
as you
fucking
said-
joke.
As you said, Kyle, if you have Pro Bowlers on your team, that means your team is probably winning, which means your team is successful, and
Yes,
that's what the
every time
GM's
that-
job is, to make his
Yes.
team successful.
And I've
win.
talked, and I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole again, guys. But the first 2 years are past because it was a complete and utter rebuild. He has 3 players left from Ryan Pace's roster. Three players left from Ryan Pace's roster. He rebuilt the entire roster from scratch. He brought guys like Tooney here. He's as a matter of fact, guys, by all accounts, the Chiefs were not shopping Joe Tooney. Ryan Poles picked up the phone and called.
Made that shit happen.
Kyle,
Ryan
what would
Poles
you-
was in his bag this offseason, guys.
Kyle,
Ryan
what would you
Poles had
feel-
one of the best off seasons the Chicago Bears.
What would you
GM
feel
ever
about
had.
Ryan Poles if this team doesn't win games?
If
If they don't win
what,
games
this year?
this
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
and just this year, I think you have to be patient.
Ryan Poles
because they're
has 3
developing a
years.
quarterback and a brand new system under a brand new head coach.
Ryan
That's why they
Poles has
re-signed
3
him.
years right now. That's why they re-signed him. Yes, 100.
Yes,
And listen,
that's why they re-signed
I would like the
They
record.
they expect bumps in the road, guys. They
I
expect
would like the
ups and
record to
downs.
show that I'm trying to be in the middle here. Like, I'm not trying to
I-
go too far
I
one
can
way
tell.
or far the other way.
I know exactly where you're at. You agree with
Poles-
Brennan that wins and losses are ultimately what defines you as a GM, but you also agree that if Ryan Poles in the next 2 or 3 years with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson wins the Super Bowl, he has to be in the conversation for best Bears GM all time because not many have fucking done it.
Yes, up to this point, he has not been a good GM
Yes, he's made
by traditional standards, by the standards that matter. But he has put this team in a position, and like I just said, I think he's had one of the best off seasons we've seen a Bears general manager have, and that should result. And I'm not talking about this year, but I'm talking about with Ben Johnson as his head coach and this era of Chicago Bears football. It's heading in a very good direction, and Ryan Poles had a very, very big part in that. You have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, that could be better well said. That's what I was saying. That's what just from the scratch. I mean, listen, he made his mistakes. I agree with you guys 100%. I mean, the Matt Eberflus, Chase Claypool, PJ Walker. We can go over the whole list.
Made
There's a ton of
huge
them.
mistakes that were
But
unforgivable.
at the end of the day, if he wins the Super Bowl, they are all forgiven. They are all forgiven. All of those mistakes are forgiven.
Yeah, and
Every
if you look at
single
a
one.
lot of GM's careers, man, there's a lot of bumps in the road, and lately in the NFL, it's like you don't give anybody any time. Head coaches or GMs, they don't get enough time, and right now the Bears are at least doing that. They're having some patience. Will it pan out? We don't know, but at least there's continuity and stability between the head coach, the GM, and the quarterback, and that's all you can fucking ask for when you're looking to have a successful football team in the NFL. Every successful team has that, guys. The Bears needed that, and that's the biggest deal about this offseason. 100%. It is.
I agree.
We'll see.
They got to win.
Sean, we'll see. Sean.
Sean sounds like he's not very confident in the Bears in the future.
I'm not very confident because I've watched this guy. We'll see how this draft pans out. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you guys about it. I can go over his draft. He's had more losses than successes.
100%.
And
That's correct.
Going out and signing a bunch of free agents. He came in. I build through the draft. We're going to build through the draft. Well, he hasn't built shit through the draft. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Except if you start looking at these last 2 years, Sean, when you talk about
We'll-
getting
we'll
Caleb
see.
Williams and Roma
We'll see.
Doomsday.
We
And
will
building an
see.
offense.
Sean likes
Darnell
Darnell
Wright,
White. Sean
Roma
likes
Doomsday,
Kyler Gordon.
Caleb
Sean
Williams.
likes Jaquan
We will
Brisker.
see.
Sean likes all these guys. Sean likes Terrell
We-
Smith. Braxton Jones.
Have they
We all said is
equaled
good
wins,
value
Kyle?
for the pick. No, listen.
Has he added depth? Has he
Sean, I
added?
never said
no.
he did.
Has he
You're not
added
listening.
depth in the roster through the draft?
he's been
Yes.
terrible at it. He's been terrible
Exactly
in the
my
middle
point.
round. He
Yes,
has.
he's added depth on the roster through the draft. Yes, he
Not
has.
Not good. Not
He has?
hasn't
Where's it
been
at?
good depth.
Where's it at? Please
Luke
explain.
Newman.
Depth to me.
We just talked about Luke Newman this entire show. He's your guys' favorite player in the game.
Two preseason games. Okay, that's
Sean, you
depth.
said you like Terrell Smith. That's depth.
I like
That's fucking depth.
one player.
I just give
One
you two.
player?
I'm not even looking. I can
Sean,
go over.
we're
more
coming
than
off
that.
of an awesome 38-0 beatdown in the preseason of the Bills. Where's your good vibes, man? What happened?
I want to see wins on the field. I want to see quality depth.
We all
I wanna
want to see
quality
that.
drafts,
Yes.
and I haven't seen enough of that from Ryan Poles. You guys stand on
And
another
I
ledge.
think we're
That's
going to
fine.
see a winning season this year, guys.
We're not
don't
gonna see.
expect a
I
winning
don't know if
season
we're going to
this
see a
year.
winning season.
Let me
this
ask you
year.
a
I
question.
don't.
If the Bears,
And I think that's okay.
let me
I
ask you a
really
question.
do.
This is a big.
Yeah,
if.
there you go. Thank you, Illinois Jones. Karana Amagaji. He's wasting fucking quality
Sean,
draft picks
let
on
me ask
garbage.
And we talked
Let me ask you
about,
a
I was
question.
trying to make the point that your pillow seems like it could be that too, the way things are looking right now.
Yes, let me
That's
ask a question real
absurd.
quick.
Yes,
If,
please.
if in 2026 the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl, not saying it's going to happen, guys. So everybody in the chat, relax. Don't jump all over me. If they did, If Caleb Williams is the guy, he shows huge progression, and next year he's
Breaking
toast.
news: 4-star Sports Kyle
They
says,
win a Super Bowl.
4-star Chicago Sports.
Do
Kyle
you
says
give a
Bears are
shit
winning a
how
Super
he
Bowl.
got there? Do you give a shit about drafting and free agency? I don't give a shit. I want a Super Bowl. That's what I want.
If that happens,
I
then a
don't give a
lot of the
shit
moves he
how we
made,
did it.
a
I
lot
don't
of the
care.
moves he made, looking back, will look a lot better than they do right now.
And I'll
100%.
come here
That
and I'll eat
happens
my
all
own
the
shit.
time.
All right, so we
If
don't
that
have a great
happens.
drafter,
That's
but
not
we have
gonna
the
happen.
we don't have a great drafter, but we have the best free agency GM in the history of football.
Swaggy McLegs says,
That's
wow,
how you don't
25 and 26 Super Bowl.
Sean,
Ty, you
look
just
at
keep
those contracts.
accidentally projecting Super Bowl.
Contract.
Here, I got to ask you. Joe
Swaggy
Tooney's here for 2
McNolan.
years.
Know
You guys
that.
act like he's fucking 25 years old. No, he's not. You haven't replaced him.
But Sean,
Just because Luke Newman was good in a fucking preseason game against third stringers doesn't mean he's replacing Joe Tooney.
Newman hate.
Sean,
You don't talk about
No,
Nuke
it's called
Lumen.
being realistic.
You don't talk about Nuke
It's just
Lumen like
called
that,
being
Sean.
realistic.
Don't talk about my Newman that way.
It's
all
not
I'm
just about.
saying.
It's not just
Hello,
about free agents.
Jerry.
It's also there's a lot that goes into that job. It's not so. Look at the contracts. Look at the Jalen Johnson contract. Look at the Cole Kmet contract. Look at these contracts, man.
I said he's had some wins.
They're amazing.
He's had a
Contract
hell of a lot more losses.
It's a little the Cole Kmet contract's a little rough to me, but the Jalen Johnson contract.
I don't
is
think
a-
Cole Kmet's
very
contract can even be evaluated yet, considering
Uh,
he's never played for a play caller in the NFL in his entire life.
We'll see. We'll see.
He looks a lot better. He looks like
As
he's
I
gonna
said
have big
earlier in the
games
show,
on Sunday.
these two tight ends are going to be a lot of fun to watch in this offense. I am
Tory
excited.
Taylor in the fourth. What the?
Yeah, that killed me last. I hated that pick, guys, and I said that. At
And
the
if he
time.
ends up being the best punter in Bears history, nobody's ever going to talk about
Wait
that.
a
Well
minute.
said, Illinois
Oh,
Jones.
hold on. Velus Jones? Was that?
Yeah, Sean, they all miss.
Was that?
John Lynch drafted Trey
He
Lance.
misses- he
He
misses
traded
fucking
up to
lots.
draft
halfway
Trey Lance.
through
a
this
lot.
show, guys. Halfway through
You
the
know what?
show,
You know what good teams don't do?
Colin
They
turned
don't
into
miss
our-
in the third and fourth round. Go look at Pittsburgh. Go look at Baltimore. Go look at
Sean.
Philadelphia. You know what they don't do? They don't
Sean.
miss in the third and fourth round. They don't take Karan Amagaji. They don't take fucking
Sean.
Ozzie
Halfway through
Trapilo
this
because he went
show,
to college with his
Colin
fucking
turned into
dad.
our drunk
Sean,
uncle.
I just talked
Halfway
about
through
the
the
Chiefs.
show. It just
I just talked about the Chiefs and how good they draft, and I said the first round, and everybody started giving me second and third round misses. Go back in the chat and look. They all just gave me second and third round misses for the Chiefs. They've won 3 fucking Super Bowls, bro.
This point from Jed, guys. This is exactly what I'm saying, and having patience, because Howie Roseman had ups and downs during his tenure in Philadelphia.
To Sean's
Really
point,
wouldn't change keeping him around, and they would not. That's a very good point, Jed.
to
Thank you for
Sean's
chiming in.
point, some of the second and third rounders that the Chiefs missed on,
Sky Moore
Poles
drafted
was
before
a
Velus
part
Jones.
of drafting. Poles was a scout on that team,
Poles
Kyle. So
lost them
the
5
second and
years
third
ago.
round misses carried over. If that's what he was, if
4
that's what he
years
was
ago,
doing
he
in
left.
Kansas City.
What? Brennan, the team that won the Super Bowls, he built.
Here.
He built them.
All I
he was a
all I
scout.
want is to see.
He was the head of their scouting.
I want him
department.
to stick to his word.
That's
We're going to
ridiculous.
build
He
He
to
was
his
the
back.
head
Sky
of
Moore.
their scouting
He
He
doesn't
has
get
department.
any credit
not
for the Super
drafted
Bowls.
quality
That's
linemen
ridiculous.
to build the trenches to win consistently in Chicago.
But he created
It's a fact.
he created 2 trades out of fucking nowhere that rebuilt this interior of the offensive line like that. And that was genius. He got ahead of this bullshit guard free agent market where Aaron got overpaid like crazy, and he pulled guys that weren't even available to Chicago, and then went and signed Dahlman. Poles was in his
Tooney-
bag this
Joe
offseason.
Tooney, so you guys know, was being made available, and they said he was not coming back to Kansas City. So all he did was pick up the phone because they couldn't afford to re-sign
did
everybody.
another
in Kansas
team
City.
pull him
Go
in?
Google this shit. I'm
Did
not
another-
fucking making
did
it
a-
up.
yeah,
Sean,
after
but
they
you know,
signed
check.
Trey Smith.
Sean, it sounds
After
like
they
you
signed
dislike
Trey
Ryan Poles
Smith.
so much. You're doing everything you can to not give him any credit. So now he gets no credit for Joe Tooney, no credit for Ben Johnson. He gets no credit for Ian Cunningham. He gets no credit for anything.
Bag
Wait a
this
minute, time out.
offseason, guys.
You just fucking said he came out of nowhere and grabbed Joe Tooney. They said we are not bringing Joe Tooney back. He was leaving Kansas
Okay,
City
Sean,
because they
You
couldn't
expected the
afford
Bears.
it.
to-
So he
Sean, you
picked up the
expect-
phone and
on
made
the
a
Bears.
call.
I give Poles
It's
credit
out
for
of
that
nowhere.
move.
He
I'll
could
give
have
Poles
traded with
the
credit
other
for
Bears
that.
to
teams.
trade for
He could
Joe
have traded
Tooney
with
this
other teams.
offseason.
He's on the Bears. He's on the Bears.
You expected
not
the
a-
Bears to trade for Joe Tooney this offseason. Nobody
They-
expected
they
that.
see-
Nobody
yeah.
saw that coming. Nobody saw that
I
coming.
thought
It was a
I
hell
thought
of
the
a
Tooney
move.
thing was crafty. I thought that was good by Ryan Poles. Listen, I'm not saying I have never said that Ryan Poles is a bad GM. I've said he's done a lot of good and he's done a lot of bad, but the bad has proven results on the
The
field.
bad has
more
outweighed
than
the
the
good
good.
up to this point. 100%.
Yeah, and he gets a
Nobody's
4-year
arguing that.
contract.
Give me
Guys.
a
We're
winning
going into year
season.
4. He gets a 4-year contract. Here we are in year 4. Let's see what Ryan Poles does in the final year of his early 4-year contract that the Bears signed him and said, you have 4 years to make this team good. This is his 4th year. Let's see how it pans out for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. I'm on the bandwagon that he's going to be good and they're going to Super Bowl with him. But you guys may think otherwise. I don't
Okay,
really give a
Kyle.
shit.
Ben Johnson
I hope he
clearly
does.
Ben Johnson clearly had a lot to do with the moves the Bears made this offseason that Ryan Poles made. I will
the
not
guy
argue
that,
that.
the
at
guy
all.
that Ryan Poles hired
But-
had the made
But
those moves.
Ryan Poles basically was operating with one hand tied behind his back, leaning on Matt Eberflus for direction for this fucking football team. Ryan Poles needed
said that
a
before.
leader on
There
the
was
football
none.
field that knew what personnel they wanted and knew what they needed to do with it.
Guys,
Hold on,
Ryan
did you hear
Poles
Kevin
needed that
Warren's
direction.
interview? Did you hear Kevin Warren's interview? He goes, we went out and got the head coach that everybody wanted us to get. This wasn't like Ryan Poles' genius. We listened to everybody. Everyone
trying
said
too
go
hard.
get Ben Johnson.
Sean,
Sean,
you're
you're
going
going too far
Yeah,
the
you're
other
going
direction.
too far the other direction, bro.
You're going
You're
too far the
basically
other
saying that Ryan
direction.
Poles has never done anything good for the Chicago Bears.
Hold
at this
off,
point.
Illinois Jones.
You guys,
Shamar
Sean
Turner
said-
might still be a
Sean-
stud.
Sean said Google it. He said Google what the Joe Tooney thing. You guys Google Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, what they said after their interview with Ryan Poles, how Caleb Williams felt about coming to the Bears, how Ben Johnson felt about coming to the Bears
Caleb
until they
Williams-
sat
he
down with
changed that
Ryan Poles.
perception.
Caleb
Yeah.
Williams had no choice.
Either way, he was they were
What's
saying
he
that
going to
people
say? Fuck the Bears. I don't want to
Sean.
be here, but I'm going to play out my contract.
people were saying his camp was saying that they were going to do that.
Sean,
They were never going to do that.
Sean, we were
It's
having this.
never going to fucking happen.
Sean, last time when we were having this conversation, you were defending Poles, and I was the one saying that Caleb Williams is the reason Ben Johnson is even here.
I'm just
and you
not
said I
putting him
wasn't
on-
giving enough
I'm not
credit
putting him
to
on this
Poles,
fucking
man.
pedestal saying he's going to bring me a Super Bowl championship.
Nobody is
when the
putting
guy
him
can't
on
even
a
have
pedestal.
fucking a 5-win fucking season.
Nobody
He
is
can't even get to
putting him
7
on a
wins.
pedestal.
Only
He
in
can't play
four.
500. He can't even win in his own goddamn division.
Sean, he
But
got to
yeah,
7
he's going to
wins.
win the Super Bowl. He's
got
doing
to
all
7
the
wins.
right shit.
Yeah,
got to
but if
7
you're
wins.
saying he got
He
to
won
7
7
wins
games
as
to
like
just
let's
deal.
justify Ryan, like 7 wins is not very good. Like that's
No,
not.
it's not.
He
But
can't even get to 7 wins.
Did the Bears won 7 games in Justin Fields' last year here? They won 7 games, guys.
Hey,
They won
listen,
7 games.
Yeah,
The jury is out on it.
Bajan won 2 of those games.
The jury is out on it, guys.
He
Polls.
drafted
Polls-
Bajan.
What
I
cannot
wasn't
be
hard
debated-
I was just saying Bajan
What-
won 2 of the
What
games.
cannot be
Just
debated is
defending
that
Bajan.
this team is in a much better position this year than they were last because of the moves that Ryan Poles has made. Can we agree
Yes.
on that?
100%. This is the
Can we
best it's
agree on
ever
that?
looked. I thought I said that already. This is the best it's ever looked. I feel positive about the things that Ryan Poles did. Listen, Dustin, I said
Mountain
this.
Smasher is with you.
I said
Sean.
this a couple weeks ago. You can't stress it enough. Ryan Poles, when he had Matt Eberflus as a head coach, was handicapping himself because he was
Yes.
getting the best players in the draft that he thought were available when the pick fell in his lap. Oh, this is the guy I like the most. This is who we're taking. It didn't apply at all to the
had
vision
no
that the
direction
football
for the
team's supposed to
football.
have
Yes,
because
yes.
Matt Eberflus never fucking had one. And a lot of people threw in the chat, Dustin, when we talked about this. Oh no, he was just doing Matt Eberflus wanted these guys, and he was just no. Ryan Poles was like, hey, Matt Eberflus said the nickel, the tackle, the 3-tech, these guys are important to my team. And Ryan Poles thought, I'll just get the best one I can.
And
No,
I said, Brett,
that's not what a head coach goes. Listen, Tyler Warren might be the best fucking tight end out there, and he might be the number one
Everyone's
by
darling,
all
yeah.
consensus. But you know what? He's not my fucking guy. He doesn't fit my
Poston
scheme.
Loveland is,
And Matt Eberflus would never do that, and you know that he wouldn't.
and
that
if
was
Matt
a
Eberflus
blind
did
draw.
do it, and
Yeah.
if Matt Eberflus did do it, it was bad information either way. If Matt Eberflus was in Poles' ear saying, I need this guy and this guy because these are the guys that fit my system, Matt Eberflus was a fucking bumbling idiot, and he was giving Poles
Well,
bad
just because
information either
Drafts
way.
is it's always a collaboration. Like Ryan Poles hired the scouts. The scouts go out there and watch these guys at school. Like
we're
it
gonna see,
wasn't like Ryan Poles was like, I don't like Luther Bird, and Ben Johnson was like, I do, so we're drafting him. And Ryan Poles was like, okay, I guess we're drafting him. Like Ryan Poles is involved in every single draft pick, whether the coaches like a guy or not. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
people
because
who are
Poles
like,
puts together
Ben
the
Johnson did
board.
this whole draft by himself. Poles is the one who builds the board from top to
Yes.
bottom.
Yeah.
He builds it.
Yes, but you
one
shouldn't,
who
Kyle.
built
Listen. When we talked about the Bears,
But Ian Cunningham brings the dry erase markers. Kyle.
when we
I
talked
like Ian
about
Cunningham a
when we
lot.
talked about the Bears of old, I
Just a
thought
joke.
to myself,
Just a joke.
those teams that Matt Eberflus coached, those were Ryan Poles football teams. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
When
you
I
just
thought
didn't
about
hire
the
a coach
football
to
teams,
develop the
this
talent.
football
That's the
team
problem you
is
made.
Ben
That's the mistake
Johnson's
you made.
football team, and I'm not trying to yell, guys, but this is Ben Johnson's football team, and I think this football. That's why I feel better about this than I have about Ryan
Well,
Poles at
Ryan
any point
Poles
of his
needed
future.
that.
Kyle,
Ryan Poles
listen,
needed that.
this
He
is a
needed that.
testament to Ryan Poles. You know what he did? He did what fucking Kevin Warren, I think, has implemented in this organization. He said, "Hey, Ryan, get your guy and fucking trust your guy and let your guy do it." Where Ryan Poles before had to be the majority of control because Matty Eberflus had no vision,
Doesn't
and
but
didn't know what the fuck he needed to be
yes.
a well-oiled machine.
But
So
the foundation of the team, the core, we're all here before Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. They were all here before Ben
yes,
Johnson.
but Kyle, look what they
Every single
did
one of them.
last year.
Yeah, with no offensive
Yes,
line.
they were all here.
With
With
no
a
All
bad
these
offensive
guys were
line,
here.
and Shane
They
Waldron is the
won
offensive
5
coordinator. And Matt
games.
Eberflus hire. Matt Eberflus
They
hired
won
Shane
5
Waldron.
games.
Yes.
If Ben Johnson comes out and wins 5 games, I'm
And Poles
sorry.
retained Eberflus so
Yes,
that
and
he
I
could
have how
hire
many
Waldron.
Justin have I
So,
not said that 100
And-
times that his
yeah.
biggest mistake is
And
retaining.
the
I've
same
given that.
team
I
lost
have given him
football
fault.
games.
guys, we can go back and forth on this. All
I
fucking
hope
night.
you're right, Kyle. I hope he wins the
We can
championship.
go back and forth on
here.
this all night.
All I'm saying is this is a results-based business, and his results suck my ass.
His
And
res-
until they fucking
No,
improve,
but
I'm not
Sean,
putting him on any
And I
pedestal.
Sean,
can't
Until
argue
his
that.
Sean,
draft
and you've said it
improves,
yourself.
I'm not putting him on a
There's
pedestal.
reasons to
And I
feel
can't argue the record.
positive this
I can't
season.
argue the
I
record.
don't
Nobody
disagree.
can. Nobody
I
can.
do
Kyle.
feel better about this year.
Yes, yes.
I do.
Yes.
Because
I
Ben
love,
This is the
I love
best
that.
it's ever
Justin, I love
looked.
that comment. I love that
This is-
comment.
this
Calvin.
is the
That's
best
a
it's
great
ever-
comment.
And listen, Poles
Backwards
came out and
built,
said he's going to
almost
build from the
completed.
trenches, and he fucking
He did,
lied.
yeah,
He
for sure.
fucking lied.
But-
He
also
did
said
the
he was gonna build
exact
through the draft.
opposite. Yes,
but
and he
he
did the
backwards built,
exact
but it's
opposite.
almost completed. And I
But-
think it's in the conversation for in a couple of years. This is a Super Bowl contending team. If Caleb Williams, who Ryan Poles drafted, is the guy we all think he's going to be.
And if Ben Johnson,
That's the guy
is
Ryan
what we
Poles
think he's
wanted.
going to be.
That's the guy he went and got. And ultimately, Vernon, you're right. At the end of the day, the Bears will only win a Super Bowl on the shoulders of Caleb Williams. That's it.
And the arm, yeah,
That's
for
simple.
sure. And I also think Ben Johnson, man. If Ben Johnson's a lame duck, Ben Johnson's a fucking Matt Eberflus, Caleb Williams is doomed. That's the way the Chicago story runs. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, doesn't matter who's head coach, doesn't matter who's GM, because they're all interchangeable and they're leaving at some point in the next season. And listen, Ryan Poles, shame on him because you should know as a general manager, I got to get my head coach when I get my quarterback. You're drafting Caleb Williams last year. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you needed an
Keep-
offensive guy
Yeah.
to carry.
What are you doing keeping that
And-
coach?
And
Shame on you, man.
And the fact that Matt Eberflus was
No.
too afraid to hire a real offensive coordinator, I mean, because of him being challenged, like that just shows that he was not the right guy to be in the spot in the first place. Ben Johnson went out and immediately hired a bunch of people that are very threatening if you are not confident in yourself. Ben Johnson went out and hired stud coaches that could take his job, that could take his usurp his leadership within the building. But Ben Johnson ain't gonna let that happen because he's the fucking ultimate leader and he's confident in himself
He's a
enough
fucking
to
alpha.
surround himself with really strong-minded and smart dudes. Matty Eberflus was the
Yes.
exact
And
opposite.
what I'm saying is, guys, there were people. I'm not calling anybody out on this podcast.
No Caleb, no Ben, Erica.
I'm not calling anybody on this podcast, you guys, but there were people who advocated for Ryan Poles to hire Mike Vrabel, to hire Mike McCarthy, to hire.
Yep.
There's the
I
list
would've
goes
loved
on
Mike
and on
Vrabel.
and on.
I would have felt
okay?
just the same if Mike
I
would've been
believe.
very happy
I
with Mike.
believe. Okay, sure, but I believe that I've said this before. The potential of Caleb Williams is best met with Ben Johnson as your head coach, and that's the guy that Ryan Poles chose. Because he believes that Ben Johnson could get the most out of Caleb Williams. And the second you drafted a quarterback number one overall, and you saw how bad it was with the defensive coach, you had to make the adjustments to eliminate as many excuses for Caleb Williams as you could. And number one was hiring a coach who can get the most out of your quarterback. And that's the most innovative play caller in all the NFL and Ben Johnson. And that's the guy that Ryan Poles landed on. Not Mike Vrabel, not Mike McCarthy, not Pete Carroll,
And let's
Ben
talk,
Johnson.
and to give a few more flowers to Poles, put him on a pedestal a little bit here. he got Ben Johnson to come here, guys. I mean, regardless of it, I believe it was Caleb Williams that was the ultimate decider for Ben Johnson. But Ben Johnson was out there in public stating, if you're a franchise that doesn't have your shit together from top to bottom, I am not fucking coming there. And Ryan Poles did a damn good job of convincing him and showing him that the Bears organization, as much as we all thought it was a complete fucking dumpster fire, had its shit together enough to lure in a Ben Johnson. And that was a big deal, guys. Ryan Poles making that move just in and of itself, when Ben Johnson was the guy, the poster boy for I'm not going there if you ain't got it right. Ryan Poles convinced them that the Bears had it, and the Bears had a good vision. You got to give him credit for that. Even me, who I've been one of the biggest Poles detractors, I have got to give him credit for that, guys. That's a huge deal to get the coach everyone wanted, who also said, I don't want to deal with no bullshit. And the Bears looked like a bunch of bullshit at the time, guys.
And Kevin Warren also made him the 5th highest paid coach in the NFL. So
that helps. The bag helps, man.
I'll tell you what,
Kyle, do you get what I'm saying?
I would like to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Right?
Anything on the planet. With Ryan Poles called Ben Johnson or sat down with him at the table and was like, I know the Raiders are asking you to be the coach there. I know you probably like Tom Brady a lot. I know they have a lot of draft capital and a lot of money to spend. Let me explain to you why the Chicago Bears are the best fit for you. I wish I could have heard that conversation.
Have you heard of Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson?
Have you heard of Caleb Williams? Have you seen a defense that started the season off as a top 10 unit last year until a plethora of injuries, and all of a sudden this is a team where you can win now?
I think it was
right
more,
now.
I would be surprised, guys, if it wasn't more modesty on Poles' end. I think he convinced Ben Johnson and Caleb
that he was the guy.
We need you.
Yeah.
You're the answer. You're the answer to the Chicago Bears
Ryan Poles
100-year problem.
Evaluated the situation.
Both of you
he
guys.
figured that the coach, the best coach, the coach was the piece that was missing. That's the coach. That's the piece they needed to go to compete for championships. And he decided that Ben Johnson gave him the best chance to do that. There were people saying hire Mike Vrabel. There were people saying hire
probably
Mike.
A very humble conversation.
You guys remember the whole?
No matter how he approached it, it's equally impressive. No matter how he approached it, it is equally impressive because how many of you guys? There was a lot of doubt that the Bears could pull off Ben Johnson. Let's just not forget that.
Well, dude, there were Bears fans that didn't want him
whether or
because
not
he wasn't a proven leader of men.
No, for sure. And there were also a lot of people in national media who didn't think that Ben Johnson would even consider the Bears because what a shit show they were.
I didn't.
There were a lot of people, Kyle. There were a lot of people that
I didn't think
he
would consider Chicago. I did not think the only hope we had was Caleb Williams. That's what I thought to myself.
So Poles pulling that off, he deserves a lot of credit. That's my only point.
And this and then perspective, Sean, I'm gonna say this for us both. He's a rookie head coach. Results, man. And I'm not talking about he needs to go win 10 games and go to the playoffs this year. Results need to come quickly. Caleb Williams has 3 more years.
Improvement.
Before this guy gets the bag, Ben Johnson needs to have this figured out. This team needs to be competing for a Super Bowl before Caleb Williams asks for $500 million, if not more.
I didn't realize we were going to do a poll segment, but I mean that went pretty long and pretty far. Sean, what else do we got? We got anything else before we?
We got a wrap.
Okay. You doing all right, Sean? The Cubs playing? No, the Cubs game got delayed. What's going on?
They got their ass whooped.
No, they got their asses kicked today.
No, yeah, but they had the second game got postponed. Yeah. But they had the first game, they got their asses kicked. Yeah.
They had 2 hits. Guys. They were playing their division rivals for the division. This is the only chance they have left, and they mustered up 2 fucking hits.
Well, I will say this too.
Mustard.
So they hitting you and you hitting the floor.
The hottest pitcher since the All-Star
ambulance
break.
hitting 90 on the way over.
Here, the devil magic, Kyle. This is what I talk about. The hottest pitcher since the All-Star break, a .36 earned run average, gets hurt in the second inning versus the Brewers. Go fuck yourself, Milwaukee.
Yeah, but also you can't win if you can't score.
Tate
2
Horton
hits is
got
not
hurt,
going to
huh?
suffice. 2 hits will
That's
not
rough.
suffice. The Cubs had bases loaded, 1 out.
I agree, Erica.
They missed their
Fucking
chance.
toast. Stick a fork in them.
Oh, they've been done, guys. They've been done.
Yeah,
We talked about this on Saturday. They've been done. They're done.
Well, the Bears are just getting started, and yesterday was a goddamn good indicator of what's to come. If that's any indicator of what this offense is going to be, Bears fans, it's okay to be fucking excited about what this team's potential is, about what this offense's potential is, and that defense was flying around like crazy and hitting people, and they were hyped up, and Austin Booker shot out of a cannon getting a sack. Andrew Billings getting a sack.
They credited him with another sack.
So now he has 5 sacks in 2 preseason games.
Yeah, and only what? How many snaps? 50, 60?
This defense is going to be better than people expect. And this offense, like I said, if yesterday was any indicator, there's a lot to be excited about in Chicago. And it's okay to get excited. It is.
And Colston Loveland's a stud.
Yep. Yes, he is. There's a lot of studs on this team. This team has a lot of talent.
Razzle,
compared
are
to
you-
the team last year.
I know. It's just
Razzle, are you a-
there was
Razzle, are you a
just so
Wisconsin
much
fan?
waste of a pick talk. Not by anybody on this show.
I thought
guys.
Razzle Dazzle was a Bears fan.
Yeah, he is.
He said, "Just don't hate on the Brewers. Be careful about the Bears."
A lot of Bears fans are Brewers.
Well,
There's
he's
a lot of
just-
energy.
He's
There's a lot.
consistently pumping the brakes on the hype for the Bears because he's been scarred too many times. We get it. I see your trauma.
He's jaded.
Razzle.
He's
And
jaded.
You guys,
and I
Okay,
rage.
he's jaded.
I agree with
And I
everybody in the
rage.
chat. I agree with Sean, and I agree with Brennan.
Here-
Temper your expectations. The only thing I'll say, guys, is for the first time in my life, I believe that at the end of the day, talent always holds
I
true.
thought
Talent-
Booker was only credited with 1 sack. Thank you, DJ.
I look when I looked at
That was
PFF
second
today.
and a
They
half.
said he was later. Yeah, he got a half sack with Billings. That's what it said.
A sack and a half.
I will
think
tell
they
you, you
just
want to talk about
gave
the
it straight
defense?
to Billy.
Someone just said that the run defense sucked again. They got to shore that up before the season starts because it wasn't good in preseason game 1 and it wasn't good yesterday. So, and Andrew Billings was in there and he was getting taken
Yeah, but
off the
Dexter
clock.
Dexter got the
Dexter
running
got in the
behind-
backfield early.
Yeah, and then he left the game like immediately.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Sean Montez Sweat didn't play a lot either, and he's one of the best run defenders in the NFL.
I don't think he played at all.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Played like the first 5 snaps.
Why even?
We'll
The
see.
Bills had 77 rushing yards, Sean.
They gave up 6 yards per carry. They were
It's-
down
no,
38 points.
They did give up a lot of yards per carry.
That's okay. I mean, that's okay if you're winning by fucking double digits. Like that, you eliminate the run game.
Did you
basically,
watch that?
don't
Did you watch A-Chain last week? Chop the Bears up for
Well,
7 yards a carry.
A-Chain averages that for his career.
Okay, well, guess what?
He's a
You're gonna-
good
you-
running back.
So I guess then we're fucked against Gibbs and Monty in the second week of the season.
We
if that's
shall
the
see.
theory you're going off of.
We shall see. The regular
I mean, I'm just
season,
saying the
the
run
regular
defense has been
season is a
atrocious.
different monster.
2 weeks in a row.
I mean, I think the run defense is just as important as the offensive line. You got to run the ball and you got to stop the run. That's how you win in the NFL.
Yep. And
And,
I think
and you guys, there's been question marks about
Well,
this
and
defensive
Kyle,
line
you
all
can't,
offseason.
you
The
can't,
question marks are
you
gonna
simply
continue in the
cannot
regular
rush
season.
the pass without run defense. You can't. You're
But
on your
I don't
heels.
think it's a bad thing to make a team one-dimensional. A team just throws the ball a ton and they abandon the run, even if they're averaging 6 yards a carry. That's not a bad
If
thing.
you can't stop the
Beat
run,
the shit
you
out
are
of them and make
not
them pass
going
the
to be
ball.
able to
Yes,
effectively
yes.
rush the pass. It's not going to happen.
it's
So
going to.
Sean, I'm
going
with
to be
you.
interesting
It's
to see how it
concern. It's
plays out.
concerned me as well. The run defense.
Me
looks,
too. You guys are my Bears fans.
questionable at
Of
best.
course it
Pretty
concerns me.
concerning,
Sean, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Hopefully,
that's-
Shamar
that to me,
Turner
that needs
adds
to be
something
fixed.
to that.
That
Sean.
needs to be fixed immediately.
Shamar Turner had a
That's the
really
most important
good
thing. That
run
and left tackle
defense
need to be
grade in college.
Left tackle
Jared-
needs to be
Jared
addressed.
did play,
and
didn't he?
Run defense needs to be addressed.
Jared did play, didn't he, to start?
Grady Jarrett. I think he
5% of
played like
snaps?
5 games or 5 plays.
5
He
snaps.
played like 5
Yeah.
plays.
Yeah, he didn't play much.
I think they
you
all
know
did.
what? We'll see when all the guy when the regular defense is out there. You just want to talk about it. Ollie Gordon averaged 4.5. A-Chain added 7.5.
Yeah, he torched
And then
them.
you had
A-Chain
two guys
torched them.
as a team yesterday.
Ollie Gordon averaged a ton. He was
Yeah,
running all over the
that's
Bears.
how I said he averaged 4.5 yards. And then you
Oh,
had
and I thought
A-Chain.
you were talking about the running back yesterday.
No,
I agree
and
with you, man. You
It-
got to stop the run.
And
Gotta
we'll
stop the
see.
run.
Maybe when the defense
This-
is out there as a cohesive unit with their
It's
stars,
going to be
they'll
better.
better.
It's going
They'll
to
be
be better. This
Yeah,
defense
Shamar
is
and
gonna-
Shamar Turner's
Top 10 in the
Shamar
NFL,
Turner's
probably
going to be a
not, but
big
they
part
should
of
be
it.
better than they have been in preseason.
Ollie
for
Gordon
sure.
is going to
I
be
would
a
hope
beast.
But listen, I think this, Sean.
I agree.
They picked off
I'm
Josh
not-
Allen 3 times.
I'm
in
not-
joint practice.
I won't be concerned about that run defense until Edwards and Edmonds. I'm not even the defensive line. Edwards
Edmonds,
and
I
Edmonds
thought for his limited
are
play
on
was
the
amazing
field
yesterday.
the whole game because hit plates looked good, but that linebacking core
I
has been
agree.
the greatest
I don't
weakness in this preseason. Listen, it was a good punch.
Their highest graded player in PFF, actually, besides Cole
It was a-
Sumlin and Cole Kmet, was Noah Sewell.
It was a good peanut
89
punch.
PFF score.
But Amen Agbong Bamiga does not look good.
Yeah,
that
but
guy
he's not
does-
going to play.
He
Yeah,
does
of course,
not
fumble.
look good.
He had a forced fumble yesterday.
That's what I said. Besides the punch, that guy looked awful. I texted you guys during the game. He is never
Yeah,
near the ball.
he's not going to be on the.
never
He's
in the
never
right
gonna be on
going
the
to be
field.
on the field.
He's not going to
Ever.
play.
He's not going to be on the team.
Good.
Well, I think they just gave him somewhat of a contract, didn't they? Didn't they just?
No,
And,
they
you know,
just-
guys,
Oh yeah, they
we,
did.
we
Yeah,
were
they
talking
did.
about the running backs earlier. Does Ian Wheeler look like a 4.3 40 guy to you? Because that's his 40 time.
He looks like a 4.3
He
guy
was
coming
a
off an
return
ACL tear.
specialist in
No.
college.
No, that's not his 40 time. His 40
Yeah.
time's like a 4.43.
No, his 40 time is a 4.39. I looked it up
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
thought
it
he
is.
was a little
It
bit
is.
faster
Yeah,
than that when I
yeah.
was watching him yesterday.
Well, in
That's-
college,
It
he
looks like he was
certainly
running in mud.
But he
Yeah.
did tear his ACL.
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
And I think we tore an ACL on the show tonight, guys.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
We were playing hard. We were playing hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did
anything
well.
else you want to say before we get out of here?
Sean, what do we got?
I think Austin Booker deserves it again, dude.
Austin Booker.
I hope his knee is okay, man.
He's gonna be fine. He's gonna lead this team in sacks. He's in for a fucking breakout season.
I hope so.
Anything you want to get out there before we wrap up?
Shit, fuck Green Bay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fuck
That a boy. Awesome.
I think we need the dunce cap for the show for predictions on a weekly basis, and whoever has the worst predictions has to wear the dunce cap for the week.
You won't know that until it's coming.
Yeah,
to
we're gonna
fruition.
like pass it. We all gotta have one in our house.
No, we're all gonna get one. I'll make 4 of them.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
no,
hand them out,
and
and we make our predictions. And on Monday, whoever has the worst Sunday has to wear the dunce cap for
Yeah,
the
but
show.
what if 2 of the people on the show have really nice hair?
Oh, what if all of us have terrible fucking predictions? We could just wear dunce caps every show, all 4 of us, and
Then all 4 of us are wearing dunce caps. That's gonna make for good.
I'm not doing that.
This hair is too
Brandon can wear the Rube hat or the Nini hat.
I'm not wearing any hat. I don't wear hats.
We'll get Brandon a brown paper bag.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've ever.
I
seen
got the
you in a
green
hat.
dot. I don't need a hat. What?
I don't think I've seen Kyle
Yeah.
in a hat.
Kyle wears hats every fucking day.
Yeah, Brandon
never
doesn't wear
seen
it. He's not a
Brandon
hat
in
guy.
that.
It's not a hat guy.
I do not wear hats, guys.
All right, guys, let's
Dunce
continue
cap,
this
motherfucker.
Yeah,
conversation.
this is a good pod, guys. We're about to end this thing. Hey,
You
we
heard it
love
here, guys.
everybody.
No hat.
He says Kyle is so haircist. I love it, DJ.
Hey,
I absolutely
DJ
love it.
Kyle, Gringo Suave,
Calvin C.
Jebediah, Melon
Plank.
Smasher.
Plank.
Erica.
Do we know this guy? Have we seen
Waggy.
this guy before?
These
Yes,
fags
he's-
was
yeah,
in
double
with
up.
us.
Yeah, he's
He
awesome.
was with you guys on Wednesday. He joined us
Yeah,
on
he's the
Thursday
man.
as well.
Watch his back.
DJ Profit,
Razzle Dazzle. You
Razzle
know
in
how
the
it
building.
goes. Dante.
Alvin.
Phil was
Frank
in
the
here as
News
well.
Bruce.
Alvin crushed it today. Wow.
Love you, DJ.
AC Adam
Hell
jumped
not.
in. AC
If I
Adam
could, I
jumped
would,
in
bro.
here.
If I could, I would.
AC Adam jumped in here when you were snapping, Sean.
Ant
and
Mass,
you left-
Ant Mass was in here, guys.
AC
Everybody
Adam left,
was.
AC Adam left one comment while you were.
Sean
while
can't
you
hide
were-
his scars.
Sean can't hide his scars. While you were going off about the giraffes.
Everybody
It
in
was a
here
good time.
killed it in the
Melon
chat.
Smasher, cheers, man. Appreciate you
Yeah.
joining the show. Thank
We
you. so
love
much.
Hey,
y'all.
cheers from LA, man. Love all you
Oh,
guys.
TB17 was in here too, man. Thanks, Tyson
Thank you
Bajan
for
for
being
joining us.
Yeah, you guys are so loyal.
nice
We have
of a
so many
quarterback to
faithful,
take
but
some
we
time.
can't even. We don't have enough time to call everybody out anymore. I mean,
If you didn't hit that like button yet, please do it on the way out. Share this show with a friend or someone you love because you have so much fun with it. Make sure you're subscribed.
Just expect to lose a friend.
Bruce pointed out that we got a few new subscribers tonight, so thank y'all so much for that. This has
Thanks,
been
guys.
the Halas Hall Hangover. Wednesday, you got the Barely There podcast, the real one and only Barely There podcast, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Thursday, the bare minimum will be back at 11. And then these guys have been killing it on the north side.
Oh yeah,
now.
Razzle.
That's getting some real traction Saturday afternoons. This is real Cubs talk.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you like it is. It's a lot of fun. I
The
jumped in.
must-watch,
this past
guys.
Saturday.
not
Last
going to be
place
a,
to
not
find
gonna be a
Cubs
fun
content.
show this Saturday, guys. But please come join. If you're Cubs fans, come join us on.
Or maybe
on
it will.
Roschon 9 so we
Yeah,
can
Romy, be
enjoy
careful,
the
bud.
Cubs together.
Be careful. I got my eye on you, Roman. We love y'all. Thank
I
you so
brought
much.
you back, Romy. I brought you back from the dead, man.
Take care of yourselves, guys.
Bear down. Thank you,
See y'all
guys.
Wednesday.
Much love.
Oh, I might
Right
not see you
on.
Wednesday. We'll see.